5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
There we go. Sorry, guys. That was a bit of a dodgy start there. I realised my microphone was muted. I recognised I didn't have the background up, and then we just sat there in silence. Hello, everyone. Get your hellos in the chat. Chris is away on holiday, but welcome along to Leicester Till I Die. We're here for the Watchalong show. It's the Derby against Derby, and Wayne is my guest today. Wayne, how you doing, bud?
All right, mate. Looking forward to today. Ever hopeful, aren't we?
Ever hopeful, yeah. We'll get to our predictions at the end, mate, and how we feel after this week, obviously, because yeah, it's big game today. First time we played Derby in the league for 10 years, since 2014, so 11 years, so a long time ago, mate. We won that 1-4-1. Not a good, not yeah. So it's a good omen. There's a little bit of hope there, perhaps, for us today, but it has been a pretty bad run of it. But yeah, what's your initial thoughts of the match today, mate?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's like with really the predictions we do in the prediction league are different because we're more thinking with our head rather than our heart, aren't we? And obviously, as fans, we all with our heart want to win. But you know, we've got to learn to dig deep and get back into a winning groove, really, or in a better groove.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, this is it, isn't it? Because it's been a real bad week for the football club. You know, there's been rumours about Marty and his future as well. The fans are starting to turn a bit, Wayne. Do you feel today's game for him is a game where he has to win and we have to get a really good result, or is it probably curtains for Marty Cifuentes at Leicester City?
Oh, it's quite difficult. I personally think he might get until January, another transfer window. It is an important win. Whether Top will pull the trigger, it's just the timing, is it? You know, the best leaders pull the trigger at the right time.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of seasons, it's either been too late or too early. So yeah. So do you think if we don't win today, it's probably curtains for Marty? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking probably so. I think the club is quite into the noise, isn't it? I don't think it likes the empty seats. I think the people walking out early and all the rest of it, you know, really forces their hand. That's when they seem to do things, Wayne, for me. So, yeah, so I'd imagine if it is another heavy defeat, we could see 3 goals against today, for example. Yeah, I think it might be a difficult one. I think we might be back on stream tonight going through who's going to be next in the door, perhaps. But, you know, we'll see. Anyway, let's go with some comments in a minute. Mate, say hello to everyone. Clibo's in. All right, Clibo. AU up top. Yeah, I know. We're hiding behind our hands for that one, mate. But who else is there? I mean, this is the problem. The team is what it is, right? We've got Ben Cossin. Hey, Chris and fans. This team sheet is shocking. That's my opinion. But watch, this could be where our mouth could be shut up and we win. That's what we're all hoping today. But it looks very much the same sort of lineup we get every game, really. And we've seen it now to death. And it doesn't really do it. So I'm a bit worried. But we'll get to the predictions later. Scott's in. Hi, Scott. Hello, all. I'm guessing Wayne's afternoon is ruined after no Monger on the team sheet. Yes, not even on the bench today, Wayne, eh?
Yeah, but, you know, his defensive qualities have been lacking. And I don't know if he's spoiled on the wing, but players are playing well though. The people that have come in, I do like the balance of the team.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with Monga because I think the problem is he doesn't track back. And when we've had Riyad Mahrez before, the way you get around it is having a solid fullback there. And I don't think we've done that with Monga on the pitch. And I think then it makes him look more exposed almost. If you're going to play him, you kind of got to play a team around him that's going to suit him. Danny Simpson was a prime reason Mahrez was so good, wasn't he?
Yeah, Mahrez without Simpson would have been a nightmare. And the also caveat to that is, at the end of the day, Mahrez, he was lazy defensively, but he actually produced an end product as well, which Monga really hasn't done this season, has he?
No, that's it. Hi, Andreas. Good to see you, mate. We also got Scott again. Will we see Page and Evans and the academy players getting substantial minutes today? What do you think on that one, Wayne? I'm not sure on that one. It might be late, maybe last 10 minutes, but he doesn't seem keen to be putting these guys in first, does he?
No, it's nice to see Evans on the subs bench, but Page, I mean, a few of us have thought, why is he putting Page? He's giving Page 10 minutes a game or something like that, as you said, Tom. The one thing I'd say, Rude is supposed to be about the younger players and Marta, but he's not quite living up to his billing, is he, or what he claims he's going to do, really?
No, it's almost like the last few managers have gone in and seen the academy, and they probably just not really believed in it yet, which is interesting, really, because I think we're all calling out for a bit of a change as well. But I guess we have seen some names removed from the team today, which we'll get to in a minute as well. Let's get through these comments again a bit more, Wait. So bring back Martin Neal or Neil Lennon. Maybe a bit of Leicester nostalgia could lift the place right now. It could be helpful. I always talk about Everton and Moyes. There seemed to be a lift there because it was Moyes almost. So Andreas could be crucial for him. Yeah, agreed, mate. Good morning, Nate, across from America. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to hype and like the video, as we say, Wayne, as well.
Yeah, definitely hype. It took me a while one of the kids showed me how to hype it. So
Absolutely, mate. Well, let's get to the Leicester team today then, guys, and to keep your comments coming in as well. So here we got the lineup, look, Wayne. So we'll start at the back. So immediate change, back in goal. Begovic is out. Stolarczyk is back in. So what do you make about the change there?
Yeah, I think Begovic did well, actually, because there were criticisms from some of his previous team's fans that said, look, he's not very quick at getting down to save shots and everything. But I thought he did a stellar job as a backup. Obviously, Stolarczyk. And I do like it the way he commands the back a bit vocally. But it's good to have Jakub back, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about Jakub is that, and like he's had a season where I think he's actually been very good in the circumstances. So the defense hasn't been that brilliant or committed, has it? And if you look at all the goalkeeping statistics individually, I think he's ranked in the top 5 in the championship still, which is a credit to him, really. I think he is improving the more games he gets as well. So hopefully it'll be a good one for him today. Right, so into the defence, Wayne. So Ricardo's back in as captain. Nelson's back from his injury. Still no Coley, who's unfit, unfortunately. Vestergaard and Thomas. So what do you make of that back four today?
I like it. I'm so glad Nelson's back in, and it wasn't just a case of we put him in and then we ship him back out again. He's been injured. He's recovered from his injury. Luckily, because he's younger with his ligaments, they heal quicker. And I'm really glad he's in. I think most Leicester fans will be glad he's in. And I've always felt that Nelson and Vestergaard, centrally, if Icoli wasn't around, would be our best two centre-backs.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's it. I think Wout Faes once again hasn't, endowed himself to the fans, has he, after the last game again? So, I think he drops down to the bench, probably rightly so in this one. And to see Nelson back, yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, my only problem with Vestergaard is, did you feel the same about this? Is we're playing this 4-2-3-1 again, which teams like Derby are going to have done their research on, seen the last few games and how to get at us. And Derby play 3-4-3 usually. So that's going to be quite a threat to us. Do you feel Vestergaard and his lack of pace might be a problem with having to push up the pitch in this one?
Yeah, I think it's always been a problem. That's why I think long-term Nelson is the replacement for Vestergaard, because Vestergaard 2 years ago had a very settled team in front of him. And we, as you said about Stolarczyk or Begovic, we've had a weaker defence in front, so they can make them look quite bad. But I think Nelson is a future, and Vestergaard is too slow. I think he is too slow. And a lot of these players this season, it will probably be their last season at Leicester.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with Vestergaard, isn't it? Because I think the funny thing is he has on average been the best Leicester defender this season, arguably, but that's only really a 6 rating out of 10. It's nothing like prolific, really, is it? It's not like a 9 out of 10 every week. He's not making a difference all the time. So I kind of feel like we're leaning into that over maybe the system. And if we're going to play this, we probably need someone a bit more mobile. Let's hope he doesn't get caught out there today. Luke Thomas again, mate, left back. I mean, Luca is back from suspension, obviously. He's on the bench. Do you think Luke is still the guy we're going to have to run with Christensen being out?
Yeah, I get people's criticism of Luke Thomas that maybe he's only a championship, or some fans of him said even lower. But I do think his attitude has been brilliant.
Yeah.
And sometimes positionally, you can look at Luke Thomas and he is exposed on the left or he's getting sucked inside, but sometimes that's affected by the people you've got around you. And as you said, sometimes our midfield has been really weak and our central defence has been really weak, which will then cause problems in other areas. And I think Luke Thomas, especially with, as we said before, Monga not tracking back, it can leave Luke a bit exposed. So I do like his attitude and I think he's a solid player for us. And is there any other option, really?
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, Luca obviously had a difficult start against Southampton, to put it lightly. You know, I mean, the thing was, it's funny. He sort of divided the Leicester fan base. I saw, but I kind of felt like he showed a good showing actually when he started the game. He was really getting into it. Yeah, he was getting caught out of position a little bit, but he was overlapping down there. You know, trying to make a big difference. I felt, and he had some pace and physicality, but he's just really raw, isn't he? It's why I argued he probably should have played more games earlier in the season.
Yeah, exactly what you said about flooding him in through the first part of the season. I mean, what was he, 16, 17 games in, something like that? I mean, there's been more than enough time for him to get game time. And for expecting him to come in, as you said, against a vibrant, attack-minded, fluid. In fact, I'd say Southampton looked the most Premier League side we've played, even Coventry, to be honest.
Yeah.
You predicted that early and you were spot on, Tom. I didn't see that coming. And they looked absolutely brilliant. So to drop him in that game, it was a lot to ask, and he struggled into basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
During the game, I like his aggressiveness, and I also like his mobility as well.
Yeah, interesting. Well, hi to Jim and Gray as well. Question here from Gray, actually, we can quickly look at Wayne as we're going through this. We need to take a leaf out of Sunderland's book. Transition from defence to attack is very refreshing. I feel sometimes this year we've looked just pretty slow. Really, I think you look at other teams and how they break and how they come back. Right, we seem just to lack like a yard of pace in comparison to all the opposition. Do you agree with this from Gray? What do you think about this as tactic?
Yeah, I've been one of my customers, a Sunderland supporter, and I chatted with him pre-season because they went up through the playoffs with a super young squad, 23 and a half average age, scraped through. Sheffield United were way above them on points, probably 10 points better off than them. But since they've gone to the Premier League, they started off and they got a few results thinking, well, you know, but no, you watch them play, you know, Man City, Liverpool, they go tooth and nail, toe to toe, and they're so dynamic on the transition. And also when they lose the ball, they're so dynamic in getting back. And that's the difference. The athleticism through their team and the fighting spirit, plus the skill they've got, they are. I love Sunderland and what they're doing in the Premier League.
Yeah, they're completely upsetting the apple cart because they're thinking outside the box. And I think this is interesting because I think we are on the back end of the 4-2-3-1 revolution that Pep started. It kind of feels like it's reached its end now because eventually it always goes in cycles, right? A formation comes in favour 4-4-2 at a time and, you know, other ones. So it's interesting today, especially as Derby have used this system earlier in the season, got away from it and now got on a bit of a run, you know, where they can think about the playoffs maybe, right? So interesting. Nelson definitely needs game time. Good point there from Gray. I think that's right. I think we kind of got to, you know, give him minutes now, perhaps. Wayne, do you think over FaZe, just start him every game?
He's the future. You know, if somebody's, as we said, if he's good enough, and he's definitely, he reminded me of John Stones. Exactly the same profile. So mobile, so quick. He jumps, what I noticed as well, he jumps out quickly into the midfield to squash out attacks developing earlier on. So he's got that intelligence to do it. It's positionally, when you watch him in a game, he's so positionally aware. He doesn't run around all over the place. He just reads a game. He makes sure he's within 2-3 yards in the right position. And that makes everything look seamless. Like Van Dijk, when he's on it, is seamless. And I think he's that great a player. I really do.
Oh, it's interesting because the Oxford fans last year said he'll play for England one day. They liked that about him. He was the first name on their team, sheet every week. So we're playing Derby, not Bristol top yet. Fair enough. Get a few more comments there. Hi, everyone, a win for Leicester today. Good positivity. A lot of predictions this week I've seen in the prediction league will be going for Leicester wins. So, that's quite encouraging. I definitely bring a Luca on today from Scott here. 65 minutes when all the game is going. I agree. Do you agree with that, Wayne? That we got more youngsters on the bench today? We got Page, we got Evans as well. Do you think this is the sort of game today, that we can really, get these players on really?
Yeah, and I think I think no matter what the score is, because the default setting is, as human nature, we go to the safest option.
Yeah,
and that's what Ruud van Nistelrooy did. Steve Cooper did. He said he didn't want to get slagged off for signing a load of young dynamic players and then is get relegated. So Ruud did it. Marty's doing it. Frustratingly, so it's the future. We've got to build for the future. Even if we finish 2 points above the relegation zone, get the young guys playing, as you say, blood them, and we're set for next year.
Well, that's it, exactly. Because we've got a lot of players that are going to be going in the summer as well. I don't think they're going to be sticking around, are they? So I don't think actually being offered new deals would probably enamor the fan base anymore, would it, mate? So there we go. Ben Cross, I agree, his attitude is good, but his playing mistakes is Sunday League football. If I wanted to watch that, I'd go to the local field. Fair point. He was definitely very raw. I'll give you that, mate. And great. They gave Liverpool a great game. Goalkeeper to forward could have won it. Yeah, they could have done. Yeah, they were very unlucky in that one. And of course, there was, a lot more surprises in the Premier because Chelsea lost, didn't they, as well, to Leeds.
Yeah, Chelsea lost. They're quite a static team, really, Chelsea, a lot of times, but they get good results in Europe.
They do, that's it. Yeah, looking very good in Europe, ironic, aren't they? But into the midfield anyway, mate. So James is back in the 6th role alongside Skip. So what do you make of that too today? Winks is dropped.
One of my favourite gifts is this, the young lad going, yes, in the crowd. And that's it. That just makes perfect sense, those two.
It does. Isn't it interesting how Winks has been dropped after there's been quite a lot of pushback from the fans against him this week? What are your feelings on that? Do you reckon it was time for him to go, or is he still probably on average our more solid midfield option?
I think it's time for him to go. I'm not a fan of Winks for his credentials and credibility in what should be his professionalism. So when he's sort of walking off, just completely ignoring the fans early in the season, I think that's a real crap attitude. I just think unless he's got someone like JJ next to him, he can look very ordinary. And also on this competitive tackling side of things, he's just really weak.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like to see James back there anyway, because I definitely think he advances the ball better and he makes the pitch feel bigger in that position when he plays it, really. I think in attacking mid, he does it well, but I think it is limiting him to like a 7 out of 10 when he can be an 8 out of 10 in centre mid for me. So, and Skip, I think he's had a bit of a mini revival, really, hasn't he? I mean, ironically, at centre back last game as well when he came on, mate. So, what's your thoughts on Skip in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've had all our players that we're thinking, you know what, they're overpriced, they're not trying hard. When he's come on and he's been put in different positions he normally plays, he's played excellently, which to me shows he's positionally intelligently aware on the pitch. Because if you drop in a different position, you've got to kind of know where you are. And I think he's done really well, his attitude. And apparently in training, pre-season and another part of the season, he did more distance than anybody in training. Yeah. So he really put the work in during training sessions as well.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no, I could agree with that. I think he's kind of having this mini revival, and if he keeps up for a few more games, then who knows? And he is one of our longest contracted players at the club, so it'll be good if we could get a tune out of him from somewhere. But to be fair, at times this season, I think he's looked just slightly off it. So let's just hope he just continues putting the work in, which seems to make a bit of a difference for me. But right hand side, Fataru. So another one that's recently come to a bit of criticism, mate. He was fighting back on X, I believe, or Instagram, firing comments back at fans saying about you need to get behind the team and all the rest of it. And is the pressure getting to him a bit, mate? He's obviously still only a young chap. He's had this film come out about him, with a lot of hoo-ha, the club doing filming, nights and all the rest of it, and interviews. And what do you make of Abdou Fatah now at the moment?
I think he's lost the plot a little bit. It's almost like if you've got a teenager, you say, come on, don't respond to that. Don't respond to that comment on the internet. And he's doing that, which, I mean, that's normally sign someone's headspace is not in the right place, basically. Because normally if things are not going well, you look inwardly to try and improve them. You don't look for outward things to blame if you've got the right attitude.
That's it. I mean, would you have dropped him for this game and put someone else in there? Perhaps was it time
I would,
for you?
yeah, I would. What would you have done then if you'd have picked this team?
Well, I probably wouldn't have lined up 4-2-3-1. I probably would have gone 3-5-2 against them because they got basically three forwards on. So I think to play four at the back against those three is going to be difficult for us, especially if Thomas gets caught out. And there's always a calamity back there for trying to play out from the back, right? So I'd have probably gone 3-5-2 and tried to surprise them a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think he probably stays in for me, but you've got to have a word with him, haven't you, going into this and kind of say, look, get off, the social media, get your head back straight and just, calm down a little bit and mix it up a little bit. He's become a bit predictable, hasn't he, Wayne, on the right?
I think he has, he has, and that's the problem with both our wingers. They are very predictable, but Abdul, he can go both ways. But when things are difficult, when things are going easy, everybody can look good. So when things are difficult, that's the real test of it, and that's been our concern about the team, hasn't it? The ability to fight through some bad periods of time. And Marty mentioned that in the press conference. Says, when we go down 1-0 or 2-0 against Southampton, I was disappointed with our response. We've got to be stronger, better than that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But anyway, moving on. So Bobby deckled over Reed after his week off after Jamaica, which normally happens. We has to go on the bench. He's back into attacking mid today. Louis Page on the bench as well. Obviously, you can play this position as well. Do you think it's the right decision, or is there an argument that James maybe should have retained the 10 role, Wayne?
No, I don't think James. I think he's played out of position. I think Marty has got to stop that. Because there are people that can play in that position. Mongar, Cordova. Some of these people need 2-3 games to really, not just one game, not just 30 minutes, 60 minutes. They need a regular few games and let's see what we can do. And in that way, we don't lose what we do by dragging James up to the number 10 from 6.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because I kind of think Monga, you mentioned there briefly. I mean, we've played him on the wing, but I think with his close ball control and his ability to drag players out of position, I do wonder if there's a 10 in him. I mean, what do you think about that as something? I mean, it's a bit left field perhaps, but we're in the position now where maybe we're considering Wout Faes might have to play midfield or something. Yeah, people are saying some crazy stuff out there, trying to get a tune out of this football club, right? Because right now we're strumming pretty low vibration. So what do you think about Monga? I mean,
when
could he play that?
About Faes playing midfield, I thought, I love it. I love that idea. Faes in midfield, go. The tornado. Let's put him a bit further up the field where he can't cost us goals.
Yeah, I think he's better not defending.
Yeah, Monga said he's a 10, and I think Monga could play as a 10. And because he's got tricky feet, you imagine being central in defence, just in front of the two centre halves. They don't know whether Monga's going to go right or left or just go straight through the middle of them. It's I think his dynamic running ability would really hurt teams in that position.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see it happen at some point. But anyway, so Mavrididi's still on the left as well, mate. Is he like the shoe-in for the left side for you now? Because obviously Monga is just really forward-facing. He doesn't really defend by much. I mean, Mavrididi was tracking back a lot in the last game as well. Is he starting to find his confidence again now, do you think, as well? Because I think his head had dropped a bit. He was losing his head, missed some big chances against teams like Coventry, didn't he, from up close? Just kind of the last bit of his game, he was fluffing it. Everything else he was pretty much getting right. So, yeah. So what do you think about Mavrididi? Is he still the first one in that left position for you on the team sheet?
I think he is, purely because I think if we've got if Monga was pushing him and maybe doing a defensive thing, I think he would have been in trouble. But I think for now, and he has improved his defensive attitude this season. But I think confidence-wise, he's always struggled with confidence, hasn't he? All through the years we're saying, well, once he gets a couple of goals, he gets his confidence up. But I do think sometimes he does lots of flick-overs and then he tries to push the ball by two. I don't know whether deep down he's actually got the level of confidence you need, even at championship level. And that's really disappointing because he's got all the ability.
Well, that's it, exactly. There's a good question about midfield, mate, quickly before we move on. Do you guys know why Simari is not in the side at all? Neither's Winks. And I don't know, actually. I'm guessing they've been dropped, Wayne, because it was... you saw the press conference, haven't you? I haven't seen it this week. Did Marty allude to this at all?
No, nothing at all. Although it was quite sterile. There's a really good guy called Jim, an Irish guy, journalist, and he asked some really good probing questions last week, and he wasn't in it this week. But I do know the press conferences, from what the Beanie Man used to put them up from the Premier League, they normally last about 20 odd minutes. So when we get the 11 minutes or 8 minutes version, that is a completely edited down version of it. But no mention of Samari injury at all.
Well, I'll see if I can get some information in a minute on that one, because that is interesting. Because I don't think they're injured at all. I think it's only really Suter, but he's back training and all the rest of it. And, a few other knocks for a few other lads, but I'm pretty sure they were okay. So, interesting.
Could it mean somebody's put an offer in for him and they don't want him to get injured?
Maybe there was. I mean, there is transfer rumours out there for Samari. Would you believe? And I did say in the last watch-along, I said I felt it was interesting. It was this game he chose to go absolutely mad and really advance the ball quickly and run with the ball, be direct. I kind of felt there had to be a scout from a team in the stands. I just couldn't understand where it came from. It was just completely out of left field, wasn't it, for Samari? But there we go. Okay, the final and probably the most interesting decision, perhaps, of this lineup, Jordan Ayew is back in up front, Wayne. So no Daka up front today, dropped to the bench. Evans, of course, on the bench as well, and Carranza. Do you think it is time to put Jordan Ayew back in there?
Yeah, he's not interesting, Jordan Ayew. So I put here, he's not really hit the ground running this season, has he, Jordan Ayew? And Jim loves him and Jim wants him to do well. And we love the fact that Jim wants him to do well. And amazingly, he did better in the Premier League than he's doing in the Championship, which is quite surprising, really. So we'll see. We'll see whether the problem is the front four have never linked properly and effectively, I don't think. And I think Marty's still trying to solve that puzzle. I don't know how you would solve the puzzle, Tom.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the problem is we haven't got a good striker, no matter what we do, I've even considered Mavididi, putting him there, maybe thinking that if he wasn't using up so much of his brain capacity running at players, just had a little brief run into the box, maybe he'd just, be a pretty good... I mean, he started off as a youngster, playing striker, so... But then isn't this the desperation we're in, Wayne? The fact we're all considering these things. We've all got crazy formations we could, do Will Still and go Football Manager about with this lot, can't we? But, I think maybe give Ayew a go today. I think Daka, ironically, obviously his finishing hasn't really improved because he's had one goal in a year, which is just, diabolical for a guy on the money he's on, But then you look at it and you go, I think he's improved his physicality this season, oddly. Yeah. I think he I'm not saying he's Harry Kane. This is a bad comparison, but how Harry Kane comes and, intercepts the ball, uses his physicality, lays it off. Patson's done more of that this season he's ever done before. But he's really got to start finding the back of the net. So I'm okay with Ayew in, because I just kind of think, well, we just got to roll the dice for this one, haven't we?
And he can finish, Ayew. He can be in a group of players in the box and he can get a shot off, because he does like to get an early shot off, actually, whereas Daka, it's like I said before in the week, I'm not a fan of rewarding mediocrity or below. And the level of his money contract and the length he had and the output of that, if he was a salesperson, he would have been gone within 3 months, basically. Yeah, 100%, mate. So quick look at the bench. We'll get some more comments then. So Begovic obviously back on the bench now. Wout Faes, apparently he's okay after he, got a head injury in the last game, didn't he? So he's funny to me because he's getting a lot of hate this week, Wout Faes, isn't he? There seems to be no love lost at all. He's the name that's coming up as much as Winks I've seen from other fans, right? So it's interesting to see that Winks has been dropped or is injured. Sumari, Jim there is saying he's out from an injury. Winks is off due to a technical decision. Jim's doing all the research here, guys. Old technical decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers for that, Jim. Appreciate that. So yeah, Jim's on the post-match, of course, today, guys. So we'll get more of his wisdom and his free things at the end from today. Hopefully some good ones. But yeah, I think it's interesting because I think there is... I mean, in the Championship, Wout Faes is at least a Championship defender, isn't he? I mean, we can't get carried away. He's been dropped by Belgium, hasn't he? But he's not like a League One defender, But he just, sometimes you think he gets committed and headbutts people a lot. But there's other times he doesn't jump for the ball at the right times. He misreads crosses, and he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't intercept the ball enough. He got completely turned over for a counter-attack goal from Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's just all the way through. I think it's his decision making that's causing problems, like jumping out to the right wing to try and intercept something. And I do think, I mentioned this before, I do think the Championship sides now are far more athletic, far more front-footed. And so whereas before, 2 years ago, him and Vestergaard could stroke the ball around the back. I don't think they've got that that license anymore, and they're getting caught out. And a lot of these players, I would like him to move on. Sometimes you need people to move on for you, for your team, and for them personally as a player.
Well, that's it, exactly. He's still got 2 years left on his deal, so it'll be interesting to see if anything does come of it. But I'd imagine that he'd probably be looking to get out as well. So the rest of the bench is going to be Luko, Hamza Chowdhury, Page, Silka Thomas, Evans, Daka, and Carranza. What do you make of Carranza? Because for me, I think he's kind of he's a bit of a busted flush, isn't he? He's come in and he's now had a few games he started in a row. To me, he's looked a yard off the general pace of the league. I think he's never getting first to a ball. Defenders are muscling him out too easy. He's not got the physicality I hoped for as well. Do you think he's pretty much a write-off now, and we're going to just see him on the bench now going forward?
I think so. It's strange because he was labelled and watched some clips of him. You're thinking he likes to put it about a bit. It's a bit like Vardy, but he's not done it. He's getting out muscled in the championship, basically, which you think must be very tough for him mentally to deal with. But no, he's definitely not there, and that's the trouble. So if we'd assigned Daka and Samare proven, they would have probably cost 40-50 million. We took chances on those and they didn't work out. The less money you spend, you're taking more risk, as you know, with FM. You're taking more of a punt, aren't you, basically?
Well, that's it, exactly. I mean, all these things are just educated, guesswork, really, isn't it? But there's a good comment here from Gray. This has come up a lot. Winks, bad apple. And this comes back to what we were just saying then, about the players you bring in. It was very big, back in the days where we, were building into the Great Escape and winning the Premier League, how we signed players of a certain character over maybe an unnecessary quality. Do you think, Wayne, that's something the club's got away from, and now we're seeing that rooted in now for a couple of years, and this is what it's led us to, but especially with comments like Winks, bad apple? Yeah,
I do, and I think that's, with any privilege and too much privilege, there comes complacency and arrogance, and that's just human nature, and I think these players definitely, when they got promoted, I think that's why we nearly blew it when we got promoted back up to Premier League. It was our attitude. And Vardy had to shake everybody's heads. And I think certain people come down into the Championship, which is very different now than 2 years ago. So much more physical, dynamic. And I just think they're struggling. I don't think Winks can gather himself and go again in the Championship. I just don't think he's got the mental goods. And I think he needs other people around him to do the fighting, so he's got space to run around with the ball and complete his 400 passes a game, which is ineffective.
Yeah, it seems to me, like with Winks, when he plays, he never seems to come off really sweating. That's not to, it's not to have a go. That's not like a terrible joke. He's not like, a certain Andrew who used to be with the royal family. Maybe he doesn't sweat. I don't know, but you look at it and you kind of go, it's bizarre because, like you say, he does a lot of short range passes. If he tries anything over like 10 yards passing, he normally mispasses it, loses the ball, underhits it, overhits it. His shot outside the area has got terrible recently. Every time he's had a go, it's not been very good at all. So I kind of think when we play him, it limits us in that midfield position to one player that's going to be sat in front of the defenders.
Yeah.
So I do wonder. I said it when we had the red card against Southampton. I said, I don't know why we didn't take Winks off, because I kind of think you need more dynamic play in the two centre midfield positions if you lost a man, because you can't have someone just sat there in the middle doing nothing. So I do think he plays for himself a lot. So I think this is a good comment, especially from Stephen here as well. Winks is that Mardy kid from school who blames everyone else and calls them. And I think it comes across that way, unfortunately. We don't really want players like that in the football club because it spreads. And, if we're not careful, we end up in trouble. Just quickly back on Carranza. He's not adjusted well. I think that's it. Scott saying we should probably cancel the rest of his loan spell. I don't think we'll cancel it, but I think, he's got a lot of work to do if he is going to feature at some point, because I can't really see it happening. But there we go. So Dorker here would just say tactically, I'd like to just play about wingers, go more central, 4-1-3-2 or 4-3-2-1. I mean, isn't that part of the secret of the Championship this year, Wayne? Because I talked about this when we did the potential Marty Out show on Sunday a couple of weeks ago. And I said it's interesting how there's less teams playing 4-2-3-1 now in this league than we think. There's more of them below us than there is above us in the league table, which is interesting. And I looked at all the teams this year, and at least half of them, if not two-thirds of them, have changed their formation at least twice. and changed one style to another. Do you think we're stuck in this formation now because Marty's changed it up under a bit of pressure, perhaps, but we don't seem to be coming away from this base idea, which got us in so much trouble under Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Yeah, and listen to, I don't know if it was post-match or press conference, and he said, basically, I believe in this system. I believe that the players can do this system, and we're going to keep fighting. So I think he's just determined to implement 4-2-3-1. I just think that's it. And I think the better managers, like even in the Premier League, as you said, they are adaptable. You need to be able to adapt. And to rigidly play a system allows managers to know your system and set their teams up and tweak it. So what happens when mid-game a manager tweaks his system? Do we still stick with 4-2-3-1? That seems a lack of intelligence to me.
Yeah, and I think for me as well is like teams have kind of worked us out now, haven't they? I mean, and they're not showing us any respect. I mean, there was times at the start of the season people would say Leicester had the best team on paper for this league, right? But like I've said many times, unfortunately, football's not played on paper; it's played on grass. You know, with the real thing. So you know, when that actually has been seen now, I think the trend of the last two games, you know, where teams have worked out how to get at us now and where we're vulnerable, and how we're still stubbornly sticking to this idea from playing out of the back and not sometimes just trying to play it longer. Because I think we've shown a better conversion rate, winning those second balls higher up the pitch, even if the passing hasn't been great at times this year. I mean, isn't that something else, though, when we've got to quickly talk about? The passing in this team's been pretty awful this year, hasn't it?
I think it's been really rubbish. Interestingly, I did think of you because when Sunderland nearly beat Liverpool, Reece, the goalkeeper, he got the ball after Liverpool attack broke down. He got the ball and he side-footed it horizontally straight down the middle to Isidore, who came on a sub, and he got one-on-one with the keeper, and Chiesa managed to get back and clear it off the line. Just one direct pass. It's like Vardy. Other teams do that direct passing. So they think if it takes us only 3 passes to get the ball into the box and create a shot chance, we will do that. And I think that's where the predictability of the 4-2-3-1 and rigidly passing the ball into the box, it just doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, that's it, really, isn't it? Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I agree with Gray here. We don't move off the ball well either, Tom. No, we seem to be a yard off the commitment of every other championship team. We had a championship review show earlier in the week, me and Chris, and we were talking like we do at the end of every episode. Who do we think this week might be up for relegation, or the rest of it? And I put us down as one of those options, but we'll get to that a bit later as well, because I've got a little tweet we're going to look at just before the start of the game, mate. So,
I think what Gray said as well, just briefly, we don't move off the ball. So if you're playing passing triangles, Liverpool, everybody, that the rule is you move into space so somebody who's got the ball needs at least 2 options or ideally 3 options to pass. So if you're not running to space, you're not giving those options, and then you end up passing and losing the ball. So it's a laziness in not getting in space.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Quick look at the Derby team then, guys. So they're going to probably be a 3-4-3 today. So, Wayne, strong team there. Their top goal scorer, though, is injured, which is Carlton Morris, because he's got them 10 goals this season. Their next highest goal scorer is Aubameyang, who scored last time out with 3. So there's quite a drop-off there from missing their main star man. You look at that team, mate. Is there anyone there that sticks out to you as pretty much a threat against us today?
I like Adams. I think he's got a great attitude. I did fancy Derby to get in the playoffs actually before the season started, and obviously the start they really struggled, haven't they? But they have picked it up. Apart from who did they lose against on Tuesday? I'm trying to remember. Lost, didn't they?
I wrote it down, and I've got so many bits of paper here, mate. So I've got to try and find it. Yeah, lost to Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough, yeah, which is kind of understandable, but I really like them. They will give us a good game. And it's difficult, isn't it? So if you do the prediction league with your head, are you predicting a loss or a draw? But obviously with your heart, you're hoping we win.
Yeah, well, I'll get my prediction out there. Watch Callum Elder score today. Absolutely ex-Leicester player playing for them today. Never normally works out in our favour. I mean, I look at Brereton Diaz as someone who's very dangerous for them as well. And Aubameyang, now he started scoring. Maybe he's going to, keep banging them in, which is going to be a bit of a worry for us today. I don't like the formation they play against us. I think it's really going to suit them quite well, actually. So I've gone for a 3-1 loss today for Leicester, unfortunately. I just can't see us... I mean, I feel bad saying it, and it's not to be overly negative, but I just don't think we're learning from our mistakes, and we're still trying the same things every week, and that's why we're getting on this run now of just teams having, worked us out. What do you think today, Wayne? What's your prediction for the game?
I predicted a 2-2 in the prediction league, but so I think it might be 2-2 or 1-1. But I think every other team is dynamic, athletic. They're really good on the ball, and we are not that. We're just not. We're at 70%. We're operating at 70% of what we need to do.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll see how we get on with that. Anyway, just one quick thing before we have a quick break before the start of the game, and that is this tweet. I found earlier today. It came from a quote from BBC Sport. Leicester Extra was the X account I found it on. Jordan James said this week, if you think Leicester could be in League One, you have lost your mind. The players we have got are Premier League players, and it will show. I genuinely believe that. I won't let relegation happen. The leaders won't. We're looking up, not down. What do you make of this? I mean, is it starting to get to the players, you think, a bit, Wayne, for how they're just saying a lot of things in social media now? Because I must say, going back to that show I did with Chris, I said Leicester, if they don't watch it, could be a candidate for relegation. Because I just think there's 23 other teams out there showing a harder work ethic as a starting point, and even more technical ability and, athleticism in us as well. A lot of our players like Ricardo, not really up to the fitness level we require, right? So what do you think, mate? Are we in trouble this year? Could today's loss lead into a League One spiral?
I think you're spot on when you call it, Tom, and I think we would, purely because the question is, have we got the attitude to fight to not be in the relegation zone? I don't think a lot of the players have got that. Obviously, Abdul hasn't, Winks hasn't, JJ has, Samare hasn't. I think that's delusional. I do like JJ. I love what he said about the club, but I think that is delusional. I think he's suffering from what Rude and Marty is, that just because somebody's got a international like Faz, he plays for the Belgian international team, that's no guarantee he should be starting. He's got the right attitude.
Well, that's it, exactly. I mean, I think we've had this happen to us before once, where it was a bit unexpected. We got relegated to League One. I think we kind of slipped into it, and I'm a bit worried we could do something similar this year. The fact they're coming out and saying things like this, I mean, I kind of think they need to kick up the arse a little bit. I kind of think like that they still believe that they are, the big, what. We joke about the training ground. The training ground's amazing, but there can be an inflated ego that occurs, right? Where you kind of think you're kind of bigger than what you are, And I do wonder.
I think JJ, if we had 11 JJs, we'd be okay. That's one thing I will say. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? So hopefully, like I say, we'll push on today and get a good result, and I'm wrong, but I am concerned that we'll probably lose this, and I do think if we do, Marty Cifuentes will probably go. So I think it's going to be a big day today, guys. Wayne, thank you very much. I'm going to let us have a quick break and use the facilities before the game gets underway here. But thanks a lot, mate, and I'll see you at half time, bud.
See you later, mate.
No worries. Cheers, bud. Let's see if I can do this now. Remove myself. Oh, there we go. That kind of worked. So, right, guys, we'll have a quick little break before the game gets underway, so I can let you literally water the plants in honour of Chris, who, of course, is away with family today. We wish him well. And thank you again to Wayne for that one. And what's this? Sorry, Tom, we will not be relegated. Like the positivity, Jim's on the post-match today. The positivity will continue with Jim around, which is really good, guys. So, anyway, right. I'm going to literally go water the plants, like I said. We'll see you guys back here in 2 minutes' time. I think I've got over all the gremlins that I was working out earlier in the show, like making sure my mic was unmuted and getting the right overlay to show it wasn't Bristol City today, it was Derby. But there we go. Right. We will see you in a minute.
On Leicester's books, the Australian never played a senior game for the Foxes.
Ideally tomorrow morning before footy, so probably about 9. Just wonder, if you go, that would be ideal, and I can get inside and do the inside windows as well. Yeah, just let me know on that. If not, I'll have to grab the keys and do it in the week. Yeah, ideally tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock. If I can get inside, that would be ideal. If I can grab the keys or something, or I'd need to do it in the week. I've definitely got to do them this week.
Sides come to the games and the bounce back from defeats, and they do look like two clubs going in different directions. In terms of this starting 11, Derby have got interested players that score goals, and Leicester have got interested players who defend. So hopefully.
Right, we are back and underway. Sorry about that. I think I only let the video run once. So let's see how this one goes, guys. Remember, thank you very much, Gray, in the mods, and everyone else being here today. No spoilers. So until I've reacted to it, there is going to be no. Hang on a second here. I've got my mic. I'm trying to get my headphones working, and I'm not wanting to work in this. Anyway, the game is underway. Let me just quickly get the timer going here, guys. Let's get the screen sorted out so it looks a little bit neater. Oh. I think I need to remove Wayne here a second. As you can see, I really tested this out before Chris went on holiday. I thought I had it sorted. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? That'll do. Right. Come on, Leicester. So we're underway here. We're kicking from right to left in this one. Derby in white today. We are in our blue kit. 10 years since the last time we played Derby in the Championship. And we're over in the Derby half now. We're pressing them back here, trying to play from our centre-backs who are parked over halfway. So we are playing a high line, which is interesting because I was worried about Vestergaard when playing this system, right? Derby now coming forward outside our area. It comes forward. There's going to be a strike. It deflects, goes up in the air. Vestergaard heads it clear. Big chances early here for Derby as they're now pressing us back. They play a long ball in. It goes out for a goal kick, luckily over hit. So we started off camped out in their half for the first 45 seconds. And then 45 seconds later, they were in on ours. Right. Thanks very much, Gray. 31 in, 14 likes. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you all very much. This one's for Chris on holiday. Hope he has a really nice time with his family today. And I've got my sound working now. That's good. Game's back underway now. The ball's being fought over at the halfway line. Derby win the throw-in. Sorry, the free kick. I'm all discombobulated. All the technology's thrown me. Blue Fox is in. Hi, Blue Fox. Afternoon, Tom. Good to see you hosting this absence of Chris. Go Foxes. Thanks, mate. I'm a bit discombobulated because there's been so much going on with doing all the, working out how to get the timer working and all the graphics working correctly. Make sure my microphone's on. So, yeah, getting used to it. By the time we get to the third one of these, we'll be definitely warmed up for it. But thank you very much. Why is Derby pronounced as Derby? My accent, I'll say it in many different ways. I'm sure you will do, Tom. Derby have got a free kick in now. 3 minutes on the clock. Not really a lot happened so far. They're going to play it in from the halfway line. The Leicester defence is all lined up here, just about 10 yards outside the penalty area. Derby are going to play it long now. It's going to go all the way through, out for a goal kick. Come on, you Foxes, let's go. Don't forget, the more likes and hypes we get, the more chance Leicester have got to win. Makes sense, you know it. Makes sense. Going to be a goal kick to Leicester. We're going to play out from the back. Here we go. It starts now. And it's out. Shock horror. Derby take the throw in here. All the way back towards the Derby goal. They're playing three at the back here. Sanderson in the middle. He's got a lot of experience, Sanderson, in the Championship. Relax, Tommy, doing fine. Thank you very much, mate. I feel windswept. I went outside and I just got the wind is icy out there. It's brought out all the redness in my face as well. It's crazy. Foul there from Bobby. Pulling back on Adams, and it's going to be a free kick to Derby once again on the halfway line. Cheers, great. I've got to remember to write notes, otherwise we'll get to the post-match and I'll be like, oh, well, what are we talking about, guys? So far, after 5 minutes, there's not really been too much to write about. It's been mostly Derby pushing us back, but here comes Skip driving forward, tries to play a through ball to Mavrodidi, but it's really intercepted well there by the Derby number 6. Back to the Derby keeper now. And they go along with the goal kick now, and it's going to go all the way through. Ricardo kicks it down into the centre. Skip linking up here with James. James is battling for the ball, and he's won it back there with Jordan Ayew. Battling on the halfway line here, both teams trying to get the advantage, but so far you can say it's probably been Derby who have edged it. Vestergaard in the defence plays it down to Ricardo on the right-hand side. Back to Nelson. Good to see him back out there today. Hopefully he can have a good game today. We're back with the goalkeeper right now. Neither team in a rush here to really get this game going quickly. Vestergaard tries a long ball, and it's being fought over in the centre midfield. Now here come Derby. Adjaman comes inside. It's going to deflect all the way through and goes back to Jacob. Yeah, both teams feeling each other out so far. Not a lot of clear-cut things going on. We're still trying just to play out from the back here, slow the game down a lot. Vestergaard down to Nelson here. You can literally visualise what's going on because we've seen it every game this season, trying to play along the back line. It's very predictable. Now here comes Derby down the left-hand side with Brereton Diaz. Comes back inside. Back to Adams. Quick passing around the back from Derby here. They're pushed up over halfway now. Their centre-backs in our half. And Ayew fouls Clark there. Derby will play it quickly. Both teams are playing quite a high press here when they're in possession. Derby trying to come down the left. Leicester win it in the middle now. Ayew gives it away now. Ricardo wins it back, and Ayew manages to lay it off here to Fatawu, who's going to drive down the right-hand side. 3 Derby players back. James is driving forward here. Finds James. He lays it off, and it's 1-0 Leicester. Come on. It's Bobby Decordova-Reid, guys. Come on, get the hearts in the chat. Derby 0, Leicester 1. Bobby Decordova-Reid. I can't believe it. We got it, guys. I've got to find it. Where is it?
Go! Back of the net.
Goes on for ages, that, doesn't it? But there we go. It is Derby 0, Leicester 1 on 8 minutes. We pick the ball up. Fatu drives over halfway, brings it inside. James quickly looks up. 5 Derby players around him, but he finds Bobby, who's got some great positioning there, to run in, get in and just put it right past the goalkeeper's right-hand side into the bottom corner. And there we go. Get in, guys. Unbelievable. What a start. I predicted 3-1, so hopefully I've got this majorly wrong because that would be the one, right? So there we go. Wonders never cease. Unbelievable. Andreas, get in. Get in. Unbelievable. Brilliant stuff. Awesome stuff. Get in. Brilliant build-up goal. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised because Derby just stood off us, didn't they? And just allowed us to make those drives. But good stuff. Nate, surely this is a dream. Chris should go on holiday more often, shouldn't he? So far, this is pretty good. We'll take this. Nice link up for that goal. Jim, you are bang on, mate. This is brilliant. Great start from Leicester here. Right, I better write a note for that, hadn't I? I chucked my pen and my notepad on the floor and we scored. It's nice. The first note of the game I've got to write down is a goal, which is brilliant. Game is back underway. Derby are now trying to break down this right-hand side. They come inside. Oh, sliding tackle there from James. He got the ball, but it looked late. Yes, Greg. Been 10 years since we won the Premier League, Greg. Crazy stuff, isn't it? Come on, Leicester. That's right. The away fans will be chuffed so far. Imagine after the Southampton game, you must be thinking the worst going into this, right? Derby are going to win a corner here now. Did you see Hannah Kane was going to? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that, Majin. I didn't see that at all. Interesting. And cheers, Gray. Cheers to the mods for keeping that. And like us again, no spoilers, but we are 1-0 up. I've got to really actually update the banner, really, haven't I? Let me work out where it is here. We've got so many banners. So where have I read it? There it is. And now I've got to edit it. You're learning everything as I learn it, guys. Corner in from Derby here. Adjumang at the back post. It is cleared away, luckily. Luke Thomas heads it out for a throw-in here on the far side. Oh, Clark there with a chance there for Derby, but luckily it wasn't much power on it as Solarchich just grabbed it. Right, look at this. I couldn't write Decordova. That was way too long, so I just wrote Reed. I'm sure you won't mind. Hopefully you'll bring us good luck, Tom. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. I tell you what, it's crazy when you actually do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. It gives you more of appreciation for Chris and what he does. Mavadidi nearly got through there. Leicester are still pushing forward now. Here comes Fatu on the right-hand side. Derby are trying to get back here. Fatu is going to lose the ball. He tried to pass it through the guy's legs, and unfortunately, the defender read it well, and it's out for a Leicester throwing here on the right-hand side. 12 minutes, still 1-0. We're looking a bit sharper going forward than they are. Derby are looking a little bit more slower than us. Keep the pressure on, boys. Well said, Gray. Let's keep this going. It's a great start. I'm sure a lot of us will remember the great time we were at Pride Park and we were, 3-0 up inside 9 minutes? The good old days with like Heskey. Oh, the good times. Going to be a long throw coming in here from Luke Thomas. The newest Leicester players inside the penalty area towards the 6-yard box. Cleared away there. Great clearing header from the Derby centre-back. Goes out for a throw in halfway towards the halfway line. So Derby get away with that. Leicester definitely looking sharper than Derby going forward. Need to change the 0-0, don't I? There we go. I actually managed to get the ticker right that time. I put Leicester actually scored. It said 0-0 and then redate, so now it says 1-0. Anyway, corner to Leicester here now. First 15 minutes have flown by here. Vestergaard's coming up. All the centre-backs are up. James with a corner. It bounces around. Skip! 2-0! Oh, can you believe it? It's Oliver Skip. It's 2-0 Leicester. I am the good luck charm, guys. I am the good luck charm. 15 minutes. Corner comes in. There's a bit of a falling over section in the middle of the box there from a few players. The ball falls to Skip and he just pokes it past the goalkeeper. Derby 0, Leicester 2. Come on. Unbelievable.
Go! Back of the net.
There we go. We got the full one this time. Unbelievable. Dreamland stuff. It's Derby 0, Leicester 2. And I've got to update the ticker straight away. Can you believe it, guys? 2-0. Dorkai, £1 Luke Thomas has scored today. Am I being too hopeful? So far, mate, probably not. Luke Thomas is pushing quite high up as well. But Derby haven't really threatened us so far. So, unbelievable. There we go. Great. It started like it's... Yeah, unbelievable. Good to see you, Jeff. Yeah, 2-0. Right, I better update the ticker again. That's unbelievable. Derby are shell-shocked here. What a start. I can't believe it, really. The Leicester fans are chanting, "You're something terrible" at Derby in a lot more expletive words than that. Ball in from Derby. Stolarczyk gets it in the air. That's good. Grabs it out. Still only the 2-0. And there we go. Mad We're not think, and James in the middle of no wings, but something is right about it. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how those players aren't featuring? I've been a lot of heat towards them, you know. Lies FC fan, yeah, we're playing really well. Andreas, keep the pressure on, go for another, yeah. Back to normal service and Andrew Foster, yeah. Tom, keep the score up, please. Yeah, I've got it on the bottom, mate. I don't think I can do it on the media assets. Hang on. Let me have a look, mate, see if I can work it out. I'll work out a way to do it, Gray. Not a problem. Leicester are playing the ball around the back of the minute, which is good. Shows we're doing all right. We're playing it around the back again. Ooh, Pratu nearly got in there again. Oh, Angerman got brought down there from Leicester. I think that might be Vestergaard going in the book. Right. Can't quite work out how to get the score up. But I've written it on the bottom anyway. Vicky's in. Hi, Vicky. Afternoon, people. I'll see if I can find a way to do it. Thanks for the content. Not easy to follow from France. Not a problem, mate. At the moment, there's not a lot going on the pitch. There's a free kick coming. Andrew Mann got brought down there. Derby got every player up in the box. I'm in shock, Jim, aren't we all, mate? Can we put a partition? Yeah, I know. Unbelievable, isn't it? Ball in from Derby. Back post Sanderson. And there's an offside flag, so that's good. So no threat there. Still 2-0. Like the effort I've seen so far. And Gray there, let's hope you play for 90 plus. Yes, mate. Definitely. Right. I can't work out how to get the score up, mate. There was a way to do it, and I've not worked it out. So sorry, everyone. We'll have to. The score's going along the bottom ticker there. Look, all right. So keep your eye there. I'll keep that updated. The tech problems take so much time up. Anyway, Leicester coming forward now. James is going to lay the ball off to Fatu on the right-hand side. Finally got a bit of action here. Played into Ayew. Chance outside the area here. Mavididi. He's got two players on him. Has to come back. Plays it to Vestergaard, who plays it up again. We're up in now with Bobby Decordova-Reid, who's trying to overlap with Mavididi. Plays it in from across. Cleared away by Derby. All Leicester so far after 20 minutes. Shaky start, but after that, we got straight back into it. Derby trying to counter, but Vestergaard does really well to win that. Vestergaard's outside their penalty area. We're playing real high formation here, real high line. Free kick to Leicester. There was a late one left on Mavididi, I believe, there. Hi, Hayden. Hope you're all right. 2-0. Good start. Well, my score prediction's down for today because I went 3-1 to Derby, so happy to prove wrong. Yeah, Ebu Adams has gone in the book, Claire, for the challenge. So the Derby captain's in the book on 22 minutes. Ball into the box. Ayew, 3-0. Oh, it's offside. The flag's gone up, guys. The ball came in from the free kick. It was just over the halfway line. Came flying over the Derby defence. Jordan Ayew burst out there. Diving header. Very reminiscent of when we did beat Derby 4-0 at Pride Park Stadium all those years ago in the Premier League. Diving header from Ayew into the top corner. But it's been ruled out for offside. That's unfortunate. That was a great header. But now it comes Leicester again. Fatu pings one into centre mid. Decordova-Reid plays it back to Vestergaard. Leicester are pressing Derby here, right back. Mavididi. Mavididi's having to go down the side. He's been pushed over there by the number 6 of Derby. It's going to be another free kick. Derby cannot deal with us right now. It was onside. Yeah, I think it was onside as well. It would have been given. I think that would have been free with VAR. Agreed, guys. Absolutely, Nate. Should have been free. I agree. I was just waiting to see the replay again. Derby are getting riled up here. Their centre-back just had a word from the referee as Adams, their captain. They're getting a bit hot-headed here. We've got another free kick. Another free kick for Leicester here. Now, Vestergaard stood there. We're just outside the penalty area, just at the top right of the Derby area. It's going to be played in by Thomas. Plays it in towards the back post. Fatawu was waiting, and it was headed behind for a corner now. Set piece delivery's looking a lot better today. We seem to be getting them in quite nicely there. Same old Derby, always cheating. Absolutely. They seem shell-shocked. I don't think they were expecting this. I was expecting this, guys. I've been shell-shocked. Unbelievable. 2-0 up over Derby. Crazy. It's going to be a corner now. We're just waiting for it to be taken. 25 minutes coming up here. Fatawu's going to take it now. Gets in towards the back post. Headed down, but it's going to come to a Derby player, to Adams. It's gone out of play for a Leicester throwing, though, so Leicester can keep the pressure on here. Derby are getting hemmed back in there now. And Stewart's just confirmed for us it was definitely onside. Should have been 3-0. It's 2, but it should have been 3. So I think all we could say to the referee on that one is...
you.
We're getting better. We're getting more experience. So it's 2-0. Should be 3-0. Here come Leicester again. Derby are trying to play it out of their penalty area. They do now play it long towards the halfway line. Ricardo's going to ping it back towards the goal here. Derby now trying to counter us. There's 3 Leicester players back. Getting a bit scrappy now, this game in the midfield. The goalkeeper plays it long now for Derby. That's a great pass. He's going to find the Derby winger there down the flank, but luckily Ricardo does very well. Ricardo's having a better game so far. He's looking pretty solid. He's playing simple, but he's using some physicality against the Derby players, which is quite good. A has been pushed over there. The referee says no free kick. Here comes Derby. Ayu's down holding his ankle as Derby come forward. Sanderson's thinking, does he put it out? The Leicester fans are booing here. Ayu's still not got up. He's still rolling around, guys. As Derby just play the ball among the back 3 here with Sanderson. They're trying to wait for him to get up without putting the ball out of play. This is bizarre. Spot on, Tom. Yeah. Those memes that Chris have come in handy, mate. They really do. Ayu's back to his feet now as Derby now play that ball forward. That was weird. They sort of passed it around the back but didn't put it out of play, but they wanted him to get up. So Scott, keep some of some free kicks from now on. Absolutely. I think they've been working on it in training, probably. Derby really had to put the ball out. Yeah, I'd agree with that. They should put the ball out, really. They sort of did a halfway house. They just sort of passed it amongst themselves, didn't they, Gray? They're just showing that again, and Ayu was kind of pushed over in a duel there. Marty Cifuentes looks furious that wasn't given because that would have been a yellow card as well. The Derby goalkeeper is currently down as the rain comes down as well. It's really raining in Derby. So the scheduled break on 27 minutes. Still Derby 0, Leicester 2. Guys, what do we make of this? Unbelievable. Gamesmanship, Tom. I think you might be right there, Gray. John Eustace is shouting at his players at the moment, so that's encouraging. Landgrass got a booking for the foul, which led to the third goal not being given. I missed that. So that's 2 yellow cards, I believe, for Derby. Yeah, Langas and Adams are both in the book. Right, that confirms that. That's good. Gray's right. 33 and 19 likes. Smash that like button. Thank you very much. Like and hype if you can, guys. Chris is on holiday. Let's give him a nice present to come back to and some good shows. The technical problems I've had throughout it have limited the chances of us making it a supreme show, but we'll try our best for next time as well. I'll get the score working for next episode as well. Derby have got the ball down towards our area here. It's out for a throw-in. Ricardo's going to take it now. Coming up towards the half-hour mark. Ricardo with a 1-2 there with James. AU tries to turn his man. Sanderson's bullying AU a bit in this game now. As Derby hold the ball up here at the back, they're regrouping for a second. AU's trying to push the players forward and encourage us onto them. Long ball forward over the halfway line. Vestergaard reads it well. Deals with Adjaman and lays it off to Thomas. We're still trying to play out from the back a bit here, and Derby were trying to press every option we had, which was interesting. So we could have lost the ball. Luckily, the players held on to it and did okay. Cheers, great. Scott, am I right thinking other than Nelson, this is the same team that started second half last match? Yes, because AU came on, didn't he? So I think you're probably right there, mate. Let me get my, excuse me, my notes. I've got so many notes here, guys. I've got like pieces of paper everywhere. It's crazy. Oh, it's in. It's 3-0. Sorry, as I was looking at my notes, the ball's come in. Jordan James was just coming off the man. He gets his foot to it from like 4 yards out. Guys, I'm shocked. It's Derby 0, Leicester 3. Marty Cifuentes, let's get 3. Unbelievable. Your wish is Leicester's command, Craig. It is Derby 0, Leicester City 3. I was just looking away at my notes and, oh my God, it's in the back of the net. Just seeing it again here. Yeah, the ball was played long over to the left-hand side. It was played back in by Mavrididi. Jordan James ghosted in there and got his toe on the end of it, and it is 3-0. Brilliant ball in from Luke Thomas. That is the comment. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is 3-0. I have to update the ticker again now. I can't believe this. I had 3-1 Derby, guys. I'm sat here with egg on my face, and rightly so. I'm actually staggered. I was not expecting this at all. Unbelievable. Wow. I was expecting it to be a tighter game than this. I was expecting Derby to give us a little bit more. Skippy for the hat-trick. What the fuck is going on? I know, Chris. Unbelievable. You need to go on holiday more often, mate. Unbelievable. 3-0. And I've got to update the ticker again, guys. Here comes Derby now, though. Oh, and Derby has smashed the crossbar, guys. It stayed out, which sums up the bad luck they've had so far. The ball broke outside our area. Charging in was the Derby County player. He utterly smashed it. Jacob came out to try and narrow the angle over his arms, under the crossbar, smashes down, stays out in front of the goal line, and it is still Derby 0, Leicester 3. Unbelievable. Appreciate it. Well, here he is. Skip, unbelievable. Yo, Chris, have a good holiday, son. Here comes Derby still. Adjaman for curling strike, saved by Stolarczyk. Unbelievable, guys, because the game has now opened up. None of us expected this. You're right there. Dare I say 4? Craig, every time you say 3 or 4, we seem to score. So keep doing it, my friend. Just don't get it confused with a spoiler. Just, it's prediction. Cheers, Craig. There we go. Unbelievable stuff. Derby 0, Leicester 3. I can't believe it either, guys. The commentator just said we've both had equal amount of efforts on goal, but we just taken our chances, which is incredible, isn't it? So it is Derby 0, Leicester 3. And maybe all the things we were saying before about Leicester players going on Instagram and making statements, maybe the players were right. Maybe we've been wrong, guys. I've always said we've been playing badly. I like to be proven wrong. Here come Derby, though, inside the penalty area. There's a ball across. They can't get it under control, though. Adjuman's first touch is poor. And it bounces out, and Leicester clear it over halfway back to Zetterstrom. Get back to a few more comments here. Keep going, lads. That's it. Catch you later. Good job, Tom. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it's been a bit of a ropey start, mate, but by the time you get back, the third episode will be a banger. Has Marty actually found the foundation for our team, we hope? Interesting, the players that aren't playing, guys, right? No Winks, no Sumare, no Faze. Certain players not involved. Does that say something? Good to see us clearing our lines, 100%. I think, that's the thing this team just needed to do. Sometimes stop being so cute and just kick it out. I mean, Derby would do it, wouldn't they? Or maybe a clean sheet. Well, after that strike that hit the crossbar a minute ago, you'd argue there, Craig, that Derby aren't having the best of luck today. Skippy to ram it up them. I think he's going to upgrade himself from a skip to a waste paper basket. They're much more cleaner. Later, Chris. Still lots of time left. Got to keep this up. 100%, Andreas. Great positivity, guys. Don't forget to hit the like. Oh, would Derby have a chance? The ball was played across. The flag was going to be way for offside. Adjuman was trying to get on the end of it. Stolarczyk went down, and he's been kicked in the process as they were battling over a 50-50 low hit cross here from the flank. Oh, looks like he had it in his hands there, Jacob, and Adjuman's left his foot in. No, it looks like he got his finger caught. He shook his finger afterwards like this, like he was John Cena. Very positive at the moment, 100% Gray, doing well. Derby was 60% possession to our 40% here. What is our lineup, Tom? I'll put it on for you for a second. Oh, I didn't fill it out, actually, mate. My apologies. Let's see if I can add it. I can't add both. Right, hang on. No. I'll read you through the lineup, mate. It'll make it easier, won't it? Where's my notes? So the lineup, just to remind everyone again, it's Stolarczyk in goal, Ricardo, Nelson, Vestergaard, Thomas as a back four today, James and Skip as the midfield two, Fatawu, Bobby Decordova-Reid and Mavididi, and Jordan Ayew is up top. Interestingly enough, no Winks, no Sumare. On the bench today, we got Page, Evans and Aluko in three youngsters as well. So there we go. Can we sign Jordan James now? 100%. Getting closer towards half-time, about 7 minutes here. Derby trying to come over theirs, come over our halfway line. Skip's giving away a free kick here. Just gave that one for you there, mate. Hopefully you heard it. I'll have to add that for the next show. I'm still working out all the buttons here. It's like being in charge of the Starship Enterprise but not knowing what half the buttons do, so you're just pressing stuff and hoping you don't press the emergency eject button. Thank you, Thomas. JJ on loan. Yes, he is, mate. Yeah. His fee would be, I believe, around about 4.3 million to sign him, which is not that much, really, is it? And there you go. Great. Derby get battered. Ball in from Derby now. It's headed as Stolarczyk punches it clear, Counter-attack on now for Leicester. Mavididi's got three players around him. He takes it round one, but the heavy touch is going to mean Derby can clear it here for a throwing on this far side. Good chance at a counter, though. Mavididi looking sharp there. I believe it's Nice in France, mate. Bargain of a player, 100%. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it was Nice. It's one of the French clubs with red in them. Oh, from Stade Rennes. My apologies. It's not Nice. Stade Rennes. The other one that play in the red and black stripes of France. You're 100% right, Nate. You beat me to it, mate. Yeah, I knew it was one that plays in the red and the black stripes, just straight down. But I couldn't remember if it was, yeah. So, Stadran, yeah. I'm liking Skip more and more. He's putting a shift in, isn't he? I mean, unlike Winks, I think Winks sometimes you could accuse of being quite static almost, and just there's a couple of goals I thought earlier in the season he didn't challenge the guy making the cross, or he didn't make a block when he could have done. Winks, he sort of stood there. I think Skip is a lot more mobile. He is surprisingly using his legs a lot. Here come Derby over halfway though, and it's going to go out of play. Luckily, Derby look all out of sorts here. 5 minutes to half time, and it's still 3-0, and Derby can't get anything going here at all, guys. Tom pinched me. I think I'm dreaming. Pinched. Not far away from he's beating in Europe. Yeah, we did, mate. Yeah, that's probably what got me thinking about it. Those days we used to be in Europe. Oh, they weren't that long ago either. It's crazy. We talked about it in the pre-show, me and Wayne. Let's just hope that let's just hope we don't end up in a relegation scrap. But then, what am I even talking about? We're 3-0 up here. Honestly, I was just daydreaming about what the Leicester situation was before this game. Ball in now from Leicester. No, block there. Thomas's cross has been defended well. It's gone out for a throw-in, though. We've got a long throw option now from Thomas. Thomas, do we say it? He's having a good game. He's looked dangerous from set pieces. He's been committing forward. He's been getting back. Excuse me. The long throw as well. I think Thomas is looking good. The matrix must be broken. This can't be the way it's going. It is 3-0. Throwing in. Thomas is cleared away. He lays it off low. Laid off again to Bobby, who flicks it in. Oh, and Derby can't clear it there. Vestergaard got it on the end of his toe, but he couldn't get a strike away. And the goalkeeper, rather than pick it up, just kicked it out of play. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, Thomas is playing well, Gray. Totally agree. As it stands, we're 2 points from a playoff spot. What a crazy league it is, isn't it, Nate? It's unbelievable. It's crazy how close it is. I think you could argue 18 teams, maybe 16, 17, might even think outside shout of playoffs. QPR are down there, and they still think they might be able to do it. So, I mean, what do you know? Oh, it's a poor clearance on the Derby keeper here, but luckily Derby can clear it with the centre back instead. But Leicester are going to have the boy of Ricardo. He makes a poor pass. Ricardo made his first bad pass of the game there. Gave it away to Derby. He would try to come down the left, but he's back there, Ricardo. Takes accountability and makes a tackle, and it goes out for a throw-in. 3 minutes to half-time, plus any added time here, guys. As Derby play it along the back. We're quite happy just camped in our half here for the moment. Well, 3-0. I mean, unbelievable, isn't it? Is this the day it all clicks for Marty Cifuentes? Was it to do with personnel? Was it? I mean, we all knew Jordan James was one of the good ones, but there were other players we questioned, and they've not featured today, and we're looking a lot more livelier. Derby were passed into the penalty area from Agshaman. It's too high low, and they can't get the ball down. We're trying to feed Ayu every time on a long ball counter-attack as well, I've noticed. I've not seen this for quite a while. 10 is separate third. Yeah, 10 points from third to 18th. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, well said, Nate. And Gray, JJ, we need him permanently. Totally. I think for 4.3 million, it seems a no-brainer, right? It's not really that expensive either. A lot of upside to that deal, isn't there? I still wonder if we get Braybrook back from Newport County in January, because he's only on loan for 6 months. Get him back and see what he can do, because these Newport fans really rate him. I know it's League 2 versus Championship, but I think sometimes you just got to chuck them in and see what they do, right? Long ball, and the goalkeeper's stayed back in. Ayu's going to pick the ball up here towards the outside of the Derby penalty area. He needs some support. He comes into the penalty area, takes on his man, gets the strike on. Goalkeeper dives out of his leg and clears it. Shot on target from Jordan Ayew there. A one-man counter-attack. Ended up in no man's land on the right-hand side of the pitch. Came back inside. Came into the penalty area. Took on the Derby defender. Got the strike away at a tight angle. And it was a good save there. The personnel in the team looks right. There's no bad apples in the team. Yeah, and they do seem to be a lot more connected today. They seem to all have that little bit more energy about them, I'd say, so far, Paul. So I think you're dead bang on there. JJ's dynamic. Here comes Mavididi. He's got in behind. Oh, and it's played across, and James was trying to get his second, and it's been cleared away by Clark. Could have been 4-0. Could have been a goal for every 10 minutes of this game, guys. Might still get 4 yet. The problem is Tommy missed out on Lookman. I know, right? What a player Lookman's become. Jordan James looks up for this today, guys. He really does. To think we had one ruled out for offside as well, which wasn't offside. Unbelievable. I knew Winks was a bad sport. He didn't take the 40 shirt yet. He probably won't have a shirt number in 6 months, so we're not going to have to worry about that. Right, the ball's back in play. Now we're about to get towards how many minutes we're out of time. Thomas gets a cross in. There's no Leicester players there. It's been cleared away, but Ricardo can pick it up. Oh, he nearly gives it away, but wins it back with a good tackle. Here we come now. Just 4 minutes of added time. I haven't got the added timer either, so it's going to say 45. So we'll just say 45 now. We're into the 4 minutes of added time. Fataru nearly managed to win the ball there outside the Derby County penalty area. He was lucky. They need to give us an opportunity there. Winning those second balls high up the pitch is really effective for us, isn't it? One minute of the added time gone. 3 to go. Long ball forward towards Adjuman, but it's gone over everybody's head. Thomas did enough to push him out of the way, and it's gone through to Jacob. Whew. Unbelievable stuff. Skip, brilliant today. I think we're going to have, if this keeps going the way it's going, a really interesting post-match to work out who our man of the match is, because there's a lot of players, I think, Gray, that have actually so far been exceptional. I think A's looked all right as well. He's looked a threat. Sliding tackle there from Skip. Really well timed, because if it wasn't, it would have been a yellow card. Mavadidi's trying to take on his man. He's been shrugged off it. Referee doesn't give a free kick. And Ayu's there trying to win the ball back. Derby fans are going mad because the Derby defender was half asleep. Ayu came in from behind him and took the ball off him. We have lost it back to Derby, though, as they come over halfway now. The home fans getting impatient. We've got in the Reds, guys. This is brilliant. Here they come, up the right-hand side now. Ball in. Jacob punches it clear. It comes outside the penalty area. Ajaman was trying to bring it down, but he left the ball and it's been pumped clear now. But we are back in our own defensive area here. Cross now coming in towards the 6-yard box. Cleared away by Vestergaard. Headed up towards the flank. And now we've got the ball at feet with Bobby Decordova-Reid. Links up with Marididi. There isn't really a counter-attacking option on, though, guys. We're sort of keeping the ball around the halfway line. Ayu and Mavididi there linking up quite nicely. And we got control back and we're playing it around the back. That's typical Leicester this year. Survived a little flurry there from Derby. Unbelievable. Yeah, so Ayu even scored. Yeah. Mavididi looks up for it. He does, mate. Skip tracking back to win the ball. Yeah, he has been tracking backwards and forwards. He's been very good. Marty for the man of the match so far. Midfield changes 100%. I think a brave change today, and also with the bench we got as well. Can you change unbelievable to amazing, please? We'll try our best, mate. We'll try our best, Andrew. Frattery trying to play a ball out to Mavididi. He was falling over as he took it, though, and it's going to be headed back to the Derby keeper. Halfway through the added time here, 2 minutes of it, and then we'll have a quick 1 minute break, and then we'll be back for the half time with Wayne. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Thank you very much. 39 of you in. It'd be lovely if we can get to that 50 likes today. That'll keep Chris happy on his holiday, won't it? Into the last minute here, and Derby are playing it around the back. This reminds me of the Enzo days. Interestingly enough, when we've pressed them, we've been as high as we would be under Enzo. Very good point there, Gray. Very good point. Vestergaard driving forward over halfway here. 10 seconds to go before we get to half time. Vestergaard's making the overlapping run, trying to cross it in. We're going to still win it back, and Mavrididi's got it back here. He comes inside. He's still got it. He's still going. oh, it's 3 players on him and he goes down, but he's not going to get the penalty for that. Half-time whistle goes. It's Derby 0, Leicester 3 at half-time, guys. Unbelievable. Hey, Russ, doing a good job. Leicester looking good so far. Mate, they are unbelievable. Half-time whistle, guys. We are there. What a first half. It is shot by. I had 2 props ready today on standby. I had this in case we did well. I had this in case we did bad. We'll get to the half-time. We'll have a quick minute break here so we can go get some water in our systems, and then we'll be back with Wayne in just 1 second, guys. So I will see you in just a moment here. Where is the right button? Wayne, half-time, mate. Sorry to jump you straight back in there, bud. I just realised the video only plays once. I haven't worked out how to get it off more than once, mate. But anyway, what did you make of that, mate? That was a bit of a turn-up for the books.
Well, what a game for Chris to go on a holiday.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, we did all the pre-match, mate. We did not see that coming at all, did we? Let's be honest here.
No, not at all. I text Jim actually saying, are we in a parallel universe? It's quite surreal.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix is broken after that, isn't it? I'm just trying to find the right picture to put up here, but I can't find one. So we'll probably have to go without for the moment, guys. But yeah, guys, get your comments in the chat as well. Let me get my notes here, Wayne. So the start of the game, let's quickly go through it. So it started a little bit edgy. Both teams having a little dig at each other. Both teams getting each other back for a bit. But then on 8 minutes, it didn't take long for the deadlock to be broken, and it was Bobby deckled over Reed. Fattery drove forward. Some nice attacking play from Leicester there. He obviously cut it inside to James. He turned, looked up, played through Bobby in sort of position you might see Daka or something, or Vardy back in the day, and he put it in the bottom corner. What did you make of that goal to start us off?
Brilliant. When we broke and attacking forward, there was plenty of space, wasn't there, in front of the back line who were retreating. And the ball he punched into JJ was a bit hard for him. He was on the back foot, but he took it so well. And then he spotted D Cordova's possible run and he played it through straight away, no delay. So JJ, what a quality set by Bobby D Cordova Reed, and what a finish.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? It completely stunned me because I thought Derby were looking like they might be getting the edge of us at that point, and then all of a sudden we just took an opportunity. We were just very clinical with it, so it was amazing to see. And then I put down here, we look sharper than Derby. I mean, what did you think about that? Because obviously we're in their home stage and they've been on a big run of form recently. Were you surprised at how Derby turned up after we went 1-0 up? They almost looked like they've just been knocked off their feet a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's probably down to their attitude. They probably looked at as like a wounded animal sort of thing. So I think we matched them. It was scrappy, like you said. We matched them a bit, and then we just got the break. We just clinically. So it was such a 3-move and goal. You know, it was just that does sometimes knock the wind out of you, and they didn't seem to recover, did they?
No, not at all. I was surprised, actually. I mean, because then they got the second goal, of course, then came about 7 minutes later. So we were averaging a goal every 7-8 minutes. And it came from a man who's been a little bit of a, like we said at the start of the show, in a bit of a resurgence this week with the fan base after a pretty interesting cameo at centre-back, ironically. And it was Oliver Skipp. And like the corner came in, It was a poor corner, actually, because it didn't really go high. It was sort of a missed kick, bounced in front of a load of players who got thrown off by it completely, and it fell to Skip, who put it in the back of the net. I mean, is that just down to luck, do you think, Wayne, more than judgment, or do you think our set pieces have been good in this one?
I think our set pieces have been better generally, but I do think so. There was a big delay, wasn't there, when he took the corner, and the Derby crowd were booing a bit, and then you think, okay, get past the first man, and he didn't. It looked like the defender was going to head it. He missed it, and I think the fact that everybody thought he was going to head it, it came into the middle of the box and just bounced beautifully for Skip, who did a brilliant Van Nistelrooy finish.
Yeah, I think that's it, exactly. Luke Thomas, mate. Let's get to one player before we get to full time. What do you think of Luke Thomas's first off?
Brilliant. One thing I will say is his set piece delivery is phenomenal.
Yeah,
the pace and the direction of that ball is absolute quality.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Put Sumari on now. That just made me laugh. He's not on the bench, mate. So that'd be very difficult. So there'll be, nothing like, last week where he came out a good cameo. Hopefully, Blue Fox. Just give you some more comments here quickly. Keith, afternoon time, we're watching the match, but dare not say anything. I hope Chris has gone for a month. Could do with more wins. Yeah, Chris, we might have a petition. I mean, the only thing is, like, I can't get all the graphics right for today because it's the first one. But next time they're going to be better. We're going to have the halftime graphic and all the rest of it as well. So we'll get there, guys. We're a bit unpolished today, but we're mucking through it. And to be fair, Leicester have put in a bit more of a performance like that, Wayne, haven't they? Do you think there's been more grit in this show today, more teamwork so far?
Yeah, I think the team just has a better, but it shows you, didn't it? JJ, where he naturally wants to play and where he's naturally best. Skip is having a brilliant game, and this is the third game where he's having a brilliant game. Thomas is running up the wing and getting crosses in. It's a lot more fluid and dynamic and aggressive tackling team, this is, isn't it?
Cheers. Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. 100%. Yeah, I think it is surprising because then after the goal, then Derby got 2 yellow cards in quick succession. It seemed to be the moment they were losing their heads a little bit. 20 Adams, take down on Mavididi, and then there was the defender got one as well in 24 minutes as well when they started to get even more frustrated how things were going. Then there came a big point of the match. The Jordan Ayew offside, was it offside? Diving header reminiscent of 1998 against Derby, like was put in the chat there. What do you think of that, mate? Was it offside? I'm just seeing it here again.
No, when they took the still of when Thomas took the free kick, he's onside definitely. If that was VAR, goal would have been ruled. And what a bullet header as well. A bullet header! You're thinking, get in there. Yeah,
fully Emil Heskey vibes, wasn't it?
Real old-fashioned number 9. Get the timing on the board. It's harder than a shot, those headers, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, exactly. It was like a bullet. That's literally the word that you use, into the top corner. I think it's so unlucky it gets ruled out. But luckily, it's a rare thing in football. It doesn't look like it's actually going to damage just that much because then only about 7 minutes later, Jordan James gets the offside trap right, gets his toe on the end of a crossing from Thomas. Great ball from Thomas, a great link up down that left. And it is finally 3-0, mate. What do you make of that? And what do you make of Jordan James so far today? An assist and a goal.
Oh, just brilliant. If that doesn't cement the fact that he needs to be a number 8, I don't know what does. And that's the thing, when you don't try and change positions and you have like D. Cordova-Reid, who's played really intelligent there. I really liked him. I followed Fulham quite closely when they're in the Premier League, and he was part of that group. He's such a brilliant footballer, and that's why Marty raved about D. Cordova-Reid. And JJ, wow, how many goals? I did predict he might get double figures this season, and I think he will do.
Yeah, it's interesting that, but also about Skip alongside him today. Good comment from Paul here. Skip has turned into our best player. I mean, isn't this why I think a lot of Leicester fans got a little bit nervy the last few weeks about Marty? Because it seemed to be he was picking certain players who, if he was going to put his trust in, were going to let him down because they let down other managers, like Ruud van Nistelrooy in the past, right? So isn't it interesting how now we're seeing different names in today? No Sumaro, no Winks, Skip's in there alongside James for the second time. Do you think, mate, this is potentially the turning point for Marty into turning us into what he thought we were all the way along, but he hasn't really got the team right yet?
Yeah, I think maybe is by law of attrition is having to try the things and revert back to playing people in best positions. And we look well balanced. We look a really well balanced side against a good Derby side, basically.
Yeah, they've had more possession as we had 43 to their 57, and we had 4 chances on target, all 4 of them finding the back of the net. But one of them wasn't counted as that,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm not bitter. If we end up losing this 4-3, though, that's a point we haven't got because of a bad offside decision. But I'm not going to manifest the worst case scenario. Wayne, what do you think about this second half? How do you think Leicester should approach it? Any changes at half time? Would you change the shape now? Anything you think you would do in this situation?
I don't. I can't see you change anything. I just carry on for the next 10 or 15 minutes, see how the game develops. Hopefully, sort of keep that 3-0. You don't want to take any chances. I think we look really good and solid.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. That's brilliant. So, right, I think we can say we're going to win this game, right? 3-0. Do you think this is? That's kind of why I said it, Wayne, because I wanted to see your instinctive reaction to, like, are we in a position where we see that performance and go, okay, that seems like we can be confident we're going to win this now? Is there still that anxiety of, like, the other games previous with you about passing out from the back, maybe giving it away and letting Derby back in? What do you think?
Yeah, there's always a danger of that, and we are not a super strong mentally side, and which was evident on our 2 polar opposite performances on Tuesday, wasn't it? Completely different. So there is that chance, and that's why I think to keep it stable is really important.
No worries, mate. Well, mate, it's about to be second half in a minute, so I'll let you go. We'll see you back here at full time. Thank you very much. And Chris should be on holiday more often, and he's gone. See you in a bit, Wayne. Cheers, buddy. You muted yourself as well. So I'll remove myself back here, and let's get the next thing up. I won't start it yet because otherwise... Yeah, there we go, guys. So we're ready for the second half. We're just going to get all the screen ready, and then we'll have a quick little break just so we get ourselves all sorted out here. Sorry, as you can see, I've really learned this system very well. The one with the 45 would look better, actually, wouldn't it? There we go. That's the one we'll go for, except just with me. Oh, how do I do it just with me? Do you see my problems here? Anyway, I'm talking some rubbish. Guys, have a quick break. I'll see you back in a minute, all right? It's like when you're talking to yourself in your head, isn't it? It's terrible.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel now and make sure you never miss another upload. Leave a like now. Ring the bell and never miss another video.
Right, we're back, guys. Getting ready for the second half now here. Just managed to sort out the overlay, which is good. So, Nate, when was the last time we got a player on loan we actually wanted to keep? Very good question. Get your answers in the chat. Yuri's a very good shout as a very good suggestion to start us off, mate. 40 and 27 likes. Come on, hit that like button. Thank you very much, guys. We would appreciate it. About to get the second half underway here. The Leicester players just coming out of the tunnel now. Happy. Thomas brilliant in front of goal. We can go through some more comments here, guys. This has to be the team start every game as best we can for the future. Any player not in this starting 11 will have to pull their socks up and show their worth. I think that's a very good point there, Scott. There's been a lot more team ethic, hasn't there, in this one? Do not speak too soon as a derby game after all. Yeah, we've lost to Wolves from this position before, haven't we? 4-3. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Agreed, Scott, keep Winks out. I'd agree. We keep focus. It's 3 points. Will put us back into playoff contention. Isn't it a funny thing, this league? Is that still possible? Yannick is on a yellow, so be careful, I say. I thought he was. I thought I'd missed that. And Scott, again, be nice to have another goal. I think their heads will drop and their fans may leave. I think that's right. Looks like Derby are bringing Anthony Wyman on for the second half. So there's going to be one change there. Apparently Eustace has chewed out Derby at half-time. Seems reasonable, that, doesn't it? Just going to see who Wyman's coming on for here. Looks like there's going to be a couple of Derby changes. It never should have been offside. Agree with that. We could hear you, Tom. Just couldn't see you. Yeah, a few technical problems. I'm getting used to it. The more we go along, the more we warm up. You're doing a great job, Tom. Thank you very much, Blue Fox. Much appreciate you. Love from Canada. Can see you now. Brilliant. Right, so Wyman has come on. And Thompson's on as well for Derby. So Abu Adams is off for Thompson in the centre mid positions. That's it. Go for the jugular. That's right, Paul. Good night. Played well for us. Come on, Foxes. Buonanotte could be a good answer. I can't say Buonanotte, sorry. Buonanotte. There's no T there. Buonanotte. Lookman. Some great shouts, guys. Some great shouts. Right, let's get to this. Second half. Referee's just got us underway. I think I'll leave it like that. It looks a little bit better with its countdown smaller, doesn't it? Next episode, I need to get a goal one, and I need to get the halftime graphics. Thank you very much, Scott. So Derby with the 2 changes at halftime, Leicester with none. So it's going to be interesting. Derby starting this half, coming out at us. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Ward takes a throw in for Derby now. So they're going to come down here, our left-hand side, but it's gone out of play and we're going to get the ball back. So that's good. So we nullified the first effort from Derby. Tete. There we go, guys. That's the question for the second half. Who was the last loan player signing we wanted to keep? Tete, I'm not so sure. Not so sure. Thank you very much, Wayne. You did brilliant at halftime yourself, my friend. Thank you. One final issue is my voice is getting dry because I'm speaking more. So I'm going to have lots of lubrication. I've got loads of liquid here. Leicester coming forward now. There's a bit of space down the right-hand side. James plays it across. Oh, it misses everyone. Through the Derby defender's legs across the 6-yard box. Misses Mavadidi, misses Ayew as well. Jordan James is finding space and driving into it every opportunity. Brilliant stuff. Nathan Dye, I think we had on loan. We did. Title-winning season. That's a great shout. And what a player JJ is. Gray, you're bang on. Brilliant stuff from JJ. Just finds a space, drives into it. Really takes over a lot of the pitch, doesn't he? Covers a lot of ground as well. Dorco, I used to have the baseball ground mud. Yes, of course, the old days. The baseball ground was brilliant. Proper prison football ground, that, wasn't it? 3-0 this half, please. Let's hope so, Craig. Let's hope so. Could happen. Derby are looking up for it. They've also had a rocket at half-time. 2 changes. Let's see if they can do anything here. Going to be a free kick here to Leicester, I believe. Yeah. Brereton Diaz was down for Derby, so I didn't know if it was going to be their free kick or ours, but Skip's going to take it now. We're trying to come over halfway line here with Nelson. Comes up to the flank and comes all the way back to centre-back position. This is okay. When you're 3-0 up, I don't mind us doing a little bit of this, right? It's when you start a game against Millwall, just passing it back and forth between the back two, and you think, you know, guys, we need to try and score some goals here, create some chances. So, but I think when you're 3-0 up, there's a lot more leeway, you know, you can do a lot more stuff like that just to control the game and kill it, right? Goal kick from Derby comes all the way out to the flank. I used the word flank 3 times in the last minute. Centre back for Derby plays it back to Sanderson. That's Clark. I must get his name right as well, Clark. At the moment, Derby just passing the ball amongst themselves at the back. They don't seem to have much urgency here, Derby, to really come at us. There's a long ball forward now, but it's way overhit and it's gone all the way through to Stolarczyk in goal, Jacob. Long ball from Leicester now, trying to find Mavididi. It's intercepted by the Derby player. Comes back up low, and there's Thomas trying to link up with Decordova-Reid. Plays it all the way up here to the opposite side of the pitch to Ricardo, who finds Fatawu out wide. Fatawu takes his man on, leaves him for dead, crosses the ball in towards the back post. It's cleared by the Derby defender in the 6-yard box. And the referee's blown there. Free kick for Leicester. Binotte's Gray's answer. That's a good answer. I think probably Tillerman's, wasn't it? I don't know. Binotte was good, but do I really miss him? I guess in some ways we do miss Binotte this year, don't we? Because we lost to El Canouse. I mean, the fact Ramsey's been injured as well, we could have done with someone like Binotte, couldn't we? Cross from Leicester is going to be blocked. It goes behind for a corner. Jordan James again getting involved everywhere, guys. He is everywhere on this pitch again today. Up comes Vestergaard and Nelson again. James to take the Leicester corner now. It was Salverson who came off for Wyman at half time. In towards the near post where Nelson is, but he can't get ahead of the defender. Outside the area now, and here comes Mavididi, strikes it off a defender, and it's going to go out for a throw in here towards the corner flag. Looking dangerous every time we go forward, man. If they score, we'll get nervous. We could be fragile. This is true. I think so far we started the half nicely composed. I think Derby have got a lot more questions they've got to ask. Yeah. When you're 3-0 up, you get overconfidence, and overconfidence breeds complacency. Agreed. Chris has some serious opposition, Tom. You're awesome. Thank you very much, mate. I'm trying. I mean, this is the most rawest we're going to be, so it will get better as well, guys. I'm sort of keeping a track on, like, making sure I get all... The thing that gets me is all the technical stuff. Once we get all that down... I mean, I could chat rubbish for hours, you know me. Yeah, so it was Salverson off for Wyman, and it was Adams who had the yellow card in centre mid, who came off for Thompson in Derby's 2 changes. Leicester still were trying to get another one there from Derby. There was a little bit of play going on in the background. It was bouncing around in their penalty area, but unfortunately nothing solid came from it. And now we've got the ball back on halfway, playing it back amongst our defence again. Thomas back to the goalkeeper. Jacobs out on his edge of his penalty area. He plays it short up to Nelson, who plays the long ball forward now, trying to find Fatawu down the flank. He has found him, and Fatawu's turned his man. He's in behind. Oh, and the defender's got back there. And Derby deal with it and just kick it out of play for a throw-in. Good stuff there from the ex-Leicester man, Elder, marking up against Fatawu. I mean, Fatawu's got him for pace. He's utterly got him for pace. Speaking of Elkanou's just got to have an option or obligation. It's a very good question. I believe it should be an obligation, my friend. Cross coming in now, punched away by the goalkeeper Zetterstrom. Here's Thomas now, trying to get a cross in from this left-hand side position. He's got Mavididi short. He picks him out. Mavididi loses the ball against his man, though. And he goes out for a Leicester throwing down on his left-hand side. Apparently Newcastle are monitoring El Canoes. So maybe we don't want an obligation, because that way we can get him back and sell him for more money. John Ruckin masterstroke. Monga would assure as he comes on. El Canoes on loan at Stuttgart. Throwing in from Thomas into the Derby penalty area. Fatu is going to pick it up now outside the area on the right-hand side. He lets it go out for another throwing. Thomas has been doing these long throw-ins today into the penalty area, and they're looking like they're causing problems here for Derby. Yeah, he's in Germany, Dorco. Yeah, well said, Gray. Ricardo's going to take this throw-in, actually, by the looks of it. Down to Fatu, who flicks it on. Ricardo didn't quite read what Fatu was going to do, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. Ricardo and Elder end up having a cuddle on the side of the pitch, falling over while both dueling for the ball there. But it is a goal kick to Derby here. Andy King's in deep conversation with Marty Cifuentes here. Their mouths covered. Here we go from Nate. Nate's been doing the research. Thanks for that, bud. Apparently, they have a mandatory purchase clause around 25 to 35 million euros. I think this is why we've not had the PSR problems, people think, because we're expecting a points deduction. And me and Chris have had a bet on this. And I actually, surprisingly, don't think we're going to get one. I know people go, that's insane, because we probably do deserve one. But I think with a financial plan that shows we're selling El Canoes for that money, and bear in mind it is a rolling thing for 3 years, I think that we'll make all the money back this year. Derby were in then, and it's been deflected behind for a corner now. 54 minutes on the clock, and Derby, all of a sudden, maybe got an opportunity from a set piece. Tillemans was brilliant at the start. He was great. Do you know what's funny about Tillemans is that eventually the team started playing so badly around him that I kind of think he was the one-man show at times, and it got to him. A bit like, I think Bruno Fernandes had that at Man United after a good start. It all became about, him, and then eventually you lose that, you sort of lose your edge. Punched away by Stolarczyk, the goalkeeper, from the corner. Jakob's not caught one today. He probably could have caught that, but it's been punched away, and it's going to be a throwing now to Derby. Jim, energy continues for us in the second half. Absolutely, mate. Yes, Jim, hopefully we've learned. Absolutely. We've got to keep this up. I mean, this is where you've got to make the right decisions for fresh legs. Monga's not on the bench today, so it's a shame Monga's not available, because he would be a good one for this. And you still have Fuchs long throws. Could Fuchs be a future manager? Well, he's current manager at Newport County, isn't he? So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And we all wish him well, of course. The long throw from Derby was cleared away. It's outside the area now, and it's going to be picked up again by Ward, who overlaps there. And luckily, Clark tried to back in, and it's gone to Jordan Ayew. We need to get this out there, because Derby have got players committed forward. We've given the ball away again now. It comes down the right. They're trying to play through us, and luckily, some good play from Ricardo there to stand strong and stop Derby from getting in down that side. Canoes could be playing from Morocco against Brazil. Yes, he probably will be, I'd imagine. And not for long, according to Mike. Yeah. Some Newport fans aren't so keen on him yet, but long way to go. Ball's in the Derby, in the Leicester half here, sorry. Bobby Clark coming forward, plays it back to the centre-backs. So we're right pushed up halfway now. We're penned back in here. We've got about 6 players stood in the line, back defending. And the ball goes out for a throwing to Derby. Maybe a bit of confidence building here for the home side. They've got us penned back here now. We got all 10 Leicester players, outfield players, back behind the ball. Jordan James is wisely staying free as an option here towards the top of the Leicester penalty area. Long throw-ins coming in now from Derby. Goes towards about halfway towards the 6-yard box. But it's cleared away. Now there's a counter-attack on, but the pass is overhit there. And it goes back to Derby's defender on the halfway line. And the goalkeeper, Zetterstrom, who's come up. He'll pump it long towards the Leicester penalty area. Adjamang's in a bit of a duel there. And it's gone all the way through. Ricardo did well there. And it's gone behind for a Leicester goal kick. Encouraging. Derby's long balls aren't working at all well. Ricardo did a really good job there. I mean, he's not got the size on Adjaman, but he used his body really well to get underneath his arm and just shield him away from the ball there. So good job from Ricardo, sorry. Vestergaard takes the goal kick and plays it back. The referee's blown for something. As we get towards the hour mark. I don't know what the referee's blown for here. Everyone's looking a bit confused. Looks like Blackett-Taylor's warming up for Derby. Derby fans are booing as we do our short goal kick back to the goalkeeper, who then kicks it long anyway, which is interesting. You think about it as a strategy. You may have short layoff pass and then just kick it along anyway. Why not just take the goal kick? Derby trying to get through down the side here, but we keep clearing it out. It's going to be another throwing to Derby now. Not much of the ball in play so far in the first 15 minutes of this second half. Mostly the ball going out for throw-ins and corners and teams trying to ping in set pieces. A bit of a wrestling match there going on with Luke Thomas. It's gone out for a corner, I believe. No, they've given a goal kick. That was a shock. Everyone was looking like, including the Leicester players, that had gone out for a corner. Luke Thomas had both arms around Burton Diaz and pulled him back outside the penalty area. It wouldn't have been a penalty, but Luke Thomas there pretty much dragged him back. And then you could argue, actually, Vestergaard just bundled over Adjaman in the penalty area there. It's a goal kick anyway, which we're trying to play out from the back again. Derby press us, and Ricardo's had to pick the ball up. He has, comes inside. Fatawu tries to play Ricardo through, but he stopped his run. And it's gone out now for a Derby throwing towards a Derby goal. So he did try and play through the back there, but we're still not very good at it. Greg Greeton, but Tillerman should never have gone through. Yeah, we should have sold him as soon as he wanted to go, really. We would have got 50 million quid then, wouldn't we? If you think we failed PSR by 70 odd million or whatever it was, we should have just taken the money. I definitely agree with everyone there on that. There's been some poor decisions made at times behind the scenes in regards to why we, didn't sell a player when we had the opportunity to. I mean, we can't get any bigger dreams than Brighton, really. Brighton know when's the time to sell the player and they get the best price possible, right? When you're a club of our size, it's one of your ways you compete against the big boys. You hold them to ransom for big transfer wages, right? I think it's something we need to get back into the habit of, like when we had Mahrez and people. But that involves making, intelligent signings like Jordan James, and looking a bit lower down and maybe under a few more rocks than what a lot of other football clubs do. Derby trying to come forward here and Skip's in trouble here. He just brought down one of the Derby County forwards. Adjaman's looking wound up for this second half. Skip went diving in. The first one in the first half he got perfectly and he timed it well, but this time he's caught the heel. He got the ball. On the replay, you can see he got the ball first, but Skip's been blown up for that. I didn't see we got a yellow card for that or not. The referee didn't say, but could have been a yellow card for Skip there. He definitely got the ball. Some frustration seeping into Leicester now as Derby presses back here. They now got another free kick. The free kick's going to be down here on the left-hand side, about 5 yards outside the penalty area. It's going to be crossed in like a corner would be. And there's going to be two Derby changes coming up in a second. Ball in from the dead ball. It's a great header and it is a goal for Derby. Derby 1, Leicester 3. We'll get to this in a second, Nate. Yeah, unfortunately, Derby have a goal. It was a free kick, came in. See, if Jordan Ayres is offside, you could argue he was offside because he was like a shoulder. Yeah, about the same level, like the commentators are saying. They're crossing to the middle of the 6-yard box. Jacob's stuck on his line. The defenders are looking behind them. They unfortunately has got through to the free man and has been headed straight past him, and it's 3-1. All we'll say to that is,
fuck you.
Decordova Reed's gone in the book. It's getting a little bit spicy now. The home fans are riling this team up, and it's getting to the Leicester players a bit. Decordova Reed got into an argument there and got booked. It was Langas who got the goal, the centre-back. Here come Derby again now, trying to get on the front foot here. Update the score there. Derby 1, Leicester 3. Unfortunately, no game about a clean sheet. We need to react to this setback. Yeah, my doubt. Sorry, I'm not very good on who's doing what when. To be fair, I didn't see that one at all. Looks like Leicester are making changes now as well. Decordova Reed is off and Hamza Chowdhury is coming on by the looks of it here, guys. So there's going to be double changes for both teams now. Now the game's changed slightly with the 3-1. Looks like we're going more defensive. We're going to drop the attacking mid position. Tom is 5 minutes behind. Am I 5 minutes behind, am I? Oh, it's saying I'm live. I am 5 minutes behind, that's right. Like and share all, thank you very much. So Sanderson off for Derby and Ward. Jackson on. And Blackett-Taylor's on. So Derby have brought on 2 forwards there. Looks like Derby are going to go for this, guys. They basically brought off a fullback as well to bring on a forward. So I think they're going to go basically 3 or 4 forward here for Derby. 2 at the back because Sanderson's come off. There we go. No spoiler grade may comment after Tom and outscore, otherwise I'd kick myself out. There we go. Appreciate that, guys. Chris is much more hotter than me on it, but we don't want to get into bad habits. Like and share all, hamster. Haircut's coming on, so we should score some more. Brilliant. He hasn't, Jeffy's behind. Okay. Let's not worry about it, guys. We're pushing on it. It's Derby 1, Leicester 3. Been a few changes made there. Derby with 2 forwards on. And here come Derby now outside the penalty area. Oh, and there was a wrestling match with Jordan James there, and he's gone down. And now James is pushing one of the Derby players, and there's a scrum broken out, guys. This all of a sudden has turned into an ice hockey fight. Groups of Leicester players and Derby players congregating together here, pushing each other a little bit. The referee's having a word with Bobby Clark here with Jordan James. I have said it, so you're right, Jim. Stay cool, Foxes. Jordan James pushed back, Claire. I do love a good Derby match. 100%, mate. 100%. The referee's having a word with them all here. Jordan James doesn't look particularly interested. They're just showing it again now. So he pushed over Bobby Clark. Oh no, he pushed over someone else and Bobby Clark pushed him back. The Derby players weren't happy at the reaction there. Love to see some passionate fight, to be honest. Yeah, no, me too, mate. Me too. Everyone's definitely up for this. It's Tom's internet here, Jeff. No worries. Okay. We should have strengthened after coming fifth and eighth, but top feared PSR's a backbone. And we still failed PSR, didn't we? So we feared it, Dorco, you're right, but we still failed it by a long way. Free kick to Derby after that scuffle. It's going to be driven towards goal. It's into the wall. There's a rebound, and once again it bounces around. Looks like it hit Hamza, and it's going to go out for a throw-in down this left-hand side. 68 minutes gone. Derby now with all the momentum in their favour. They're going to probably play a long throw here. It's going to be Ward to take it. Loaded up with forwards now, trying to get one. Brereton Diaz is off. Yeah, they gave us the wrong substitution. It was Brereton Diaz who came off to be replaced by Blackett Taylor. Here come Derby again. Now we're completely penned back in. We've got Hamza, who's dropped back into the DM position. I was asked what substitution I would make at this point. It's a good question, that. I've been so focused on trying to make sure I press the right buttons, as Bobby Clark has a long-range strike, Claire. Where's my team selection sheet? I would might see Louis Page. Controversial, because I think Louis Page has got that fearlessness of youth, you know, and I think he advances the ball well. Maybe him instead of... oh, it's a chance of Derby. Bobby Clark, curling strike. Hamza blocks it really well. It was inside the penalty area, that chance. Long ball forward. Derby get intercepted. There's going to be a counter on for Leicester. Fataru's brought down right by the referee. The referee tells him to get up. The referee is utterly pants. Well said, Gray. Getting scrappy now as Derby are trying to find a bit more energy here to get into our defence. Fataru plays a long ball, just clears it all the way back to the goalkeeper. We are wobbling a bit here. Derby are leaning on us, so with 20 minutes to go, and there's only a 2-goal gap between us now. If Derby do get one back here, guys, I might have accidentally dropped us in it at half-time by saying you can still lose these games sometimes. Hopefully not, but the home fans are in great voice here, to be fair to them. I can hear the away fans now, though, which is great. Come on, you Foxes, wake up. Well said, Stephen. That's exactly it, mate. Derby have managed to pick the loose ball up here, though. Here comes Ward with a cross in. Solarkic punches it away. And there's going to be a strike on and a rebound strike, and it's over the top of the crossbar from Derby. Bobby Clark. They had 2 or 3 chances there, Derby, to get a shot on goal. Jacob came for the ball, and when the cross came in, he sort of half touched it, half missed it. It fell to the Derby man behind him. Looks like it was Agjuman, who couldn't get his strike away well. Ricardo blocked it, and the second one fell to outside the 6-yard box. So just outside the penalty area, and it was lifted over the top of the crossbar, spooned over by Clark. But a warning shot from Derby. Foxes need to get back control ASAP, well said. And Jim needs to score another to shut them down. We need to have a counter-attacking option. Abdul cleared one a minute ago, and he cleared it straight into the danger zone, didn't he? So I kind of think, yeah, we need to do something a bit more of that. Not impressed with the championship refs, generally grey. So well said, Blue Fox. They have been bad, haven't they? This one doesn't like Fatawi too much, and it's a good job these can't shoot. Well said, Paul. This is true, because if they could, it would probably be a level game by now. The chances have been coming their way. And here come Derby again now. We've got players back behind the ball. Ward's going to come inside here on the right. He passes it short to Thompson. Derby recycling the ball across the defence here, up to the other side. Comes across now to the left. They're going to match up against Ricardo. Ricardo and Fatawi are both back there, double marking the man. Derby can't get the ball in right now. They're going to have to do it the hard way. We've got bodies back here, guys. Matt Clark coming forward now, the centre-back, and he's too much on the pass, and it's gone out for a goal kick. This is the problem. When you get back and when you're back in this league and you've got your defensive shape right, you've got to be quicker transitions than that if you're going to break someone down. It was too slow, it was too ponderous. We had players behind the ball and eventually overhit a pass, and it is a goal kick. So we'll take that. 72 minutes on the clock. Derby 1, Leicester 3. I said 3-1 to Derby, so if I could just pretend I said Leicester before the game, I was right. Goal kick taken by Jacob. Goes long this time. That's a rarity. Comes over halfway. Thomas is going to keep it, well, try and keep it, and he actually clears it into the manager's dugout, so it's going to be the throw-in for Derby. They're going to drive forward here. The stadium's got quiet again now. I think we survived that little burst of action from Derby. Long ball forward again, and once again, Derby overhit it, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Their long-range passing today has lacked accuracy, as has probably their finishing. Whereas today, I think we've been a lot more better at our finishing. Is Chris on holiday with Prashant? No, he's not. He is. I don't think he's with Prashant, but he's definitely on holiday. He's in London today, and he's going to Lanzarote. Bring Monga on. Slight problem, Gray. Monga is not on the bench, my friend. No Monga today. We got Silko Thomas, Evans, Daka as our forward options. I don't think Monga's there anyway. Did I get the right amount of subs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, no Monga today. Shame, because it'd be an interesting game for him. But we have second half, to be fair, ended up defending with like 10 players behind the ball for lots of this. So I do wonder if playing Monga might not help us very much. And Monga not on the bench, yeah. That's it. Well said, Jeff. Here come Derby now. Wyman's linking up here with the central midfield partnership here as they come forward now down this left-hand side of theirs. Fatawu gets a foot in there, manages to clear it, but it keeps coming back to Derby here. We're not actually getting on top of the ball. It'd be nice for us to get some possession in a minute, guys, because the more we're doing this, the more we're getting into this cycle of we're having just to defend everything and doing a lot of running, and it'd be nice if we can control the game a bit more now. 3-1 up, and what we're doing, don't sit back. Yeah, we are sitting back a bit here. We're not having an option out. Paul, no Winks and Faze. What a difference. Get rid. No Sumare as well, mate. I think we've seen a lot of very enlightening things in this team selection today. And I think Marty put his trust in them. And like Ruud van Nistelrooy, perhaps these players weren't good for him either, were they? I think then you've got to make a decision about who are you picking. And a lot of us, and there's been a lot of negative comments about Winks this week in particular, hasn't there? And yeah, ultimately, if that time's come, it's time for players to move on. It's time to get other players in. I think today we've seen probably one of the better team performances we've seen. The only other time I think we scored 3, was it against Swansea? As I say that, the ball was played across from the Derby right winger there. And unfortunately for them, it was offside just. We cleared it anyway, but the ball into the 6-yard box from Derby there was once again showing they've got a threat as we've got 15 minutes to go. The second half shot by here, guys. We seem to be seeing a mirror image of last week's game. Agreed, Jeff. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's interesting how we seem to have one half we do one thing and one half we do something else. I have had my concerns about our ability to counter-attack. I think we need to be better at counter-attacking. And even in this, Fatawu was like the guy picking the ball up, but there was no one to pass through ahead of him or no one to link up with. So he was just kicking it back to the Derby goalkeeper, and then we're back under pressure again, right? That seems a little bit daft, really. We need to do that a little bit better. I still think Marty's got a lot of work to do. It does concern me how long some of it's taken. So while a win will be a win, and a win would obviously help Marty out big time, I still think he's got to work past the limitations. Derby picked the ball up here outside the penalty. Adjuman flicks it out to the left-hand side. Taylor comes inside. Blackett-Taylor. And good stuff there from Skip to read that and take the ball off him. Skip runs past his man, gets brought down. There's going to be a yellow card. Thompson gets booked for Derby. He went diving in two-footed like Skip, but you're not the master of the two-footed tackle like our Skippy is, guys. He had to bring him down because Skip had basically skinned him, guys. Skip literally won the ball, took it off the guy's toe, ran away with it, took it around Thompson, and then got brought down. Skip is a man reborn right now, isn't he? And here comes Patson Daka, everyone. Substitution time for Leicester, and it's going to be Fatawu off. So Patson Daka are on here. Jordan Ayew's shaking his head for some reason. Oh, Ayew's off as well, that's why. And it's Silko Thomas replacing Ayew. So Daka and Silko Thomas are on here in the other changes. I can hear a Derby fan shouting immensely in the background here. Last 15, come on, Foxes, that's it. Change has been made. I forgot what Leicester counter-attack looks like. I know, mate. We need to get better at this, definitely. As long as we can get the goals. Do you think we'll get some reinforcements next month? I hope so, but there is a rumour I heard this week that we haven't got anything to spend, so they're probably going to have to just make do. So maybe we'll get a loan if we're lucky, unless we sell someone, but I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully Samari will be sold, and that will give us a little bit of leeway, right? That's like as Corporal Jones said, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. This is it. Final 12 minutes. Any panicking now, we give away a goal, guys, and there's going to be, you know, a potential barnstorm of an ending. Skippy the Kangaroo, brilliant. We need to finish them off, put this game to bed, and don't understand 3-1 up defending. I agree, because the problem is that you're kind of manifesting someone to do something against you, aren't you? Spending all your time in a defensive zone and a team coming onto you. I think you've got to be like the best team defensively in the world to beat those odds. If a team's constantly going to create 6 or 7 chances against you, one of them will go in. I agree with you. If you've got them back, and we've looked so much better as a team when our defending is attacking. When we try and actually defend, like when FaZe and Vestergaard get stuck on their heels, that's when we look our worst. When we're facing forward, like we've mentioned Enzo ball in this game, right? The higher press, when we've played a bit more like that and been much more committed to it today, we seem to be doing better. Getting towards the final 10 minutes, Leicester just cleared the ball away, all the way back to the Derby goalkeeper there as well. So there we go. Can we loan Vardy back, Lowell? I think he's pretty happy over there. He got 2 goals again the other day, didn't he? But he was a big loss, because for the money he's on there, we needed leaders in this team as well. And they're not so easy as to go and buy unless you're Sunderland buying Granit Xhaka, right? But we don't even think about these things. The last time I was at Derby, it was a happy... Do youthful hippie days, my friend. I went Wembley, Stephen. Yeah. I've been to Wembley as well. This is wonderful. Final 10 minutes. Here come Derby. We're back defending here. We've got everyone back. Crossing from Ward into the centre. It's going to come to Agyeman at the back. Blackett-Taylor now with a strike. Blocked by Nelson. They're saying it's a handball. The referee is saying, no, it's not. I didn't see that on the replay. Let's have a look. Blackett-Taylor struck it. It deflected off Ricardo's leg and flicked up into the underarm area here of Ben Nelson, but he couldn't have moved his arm anywhere, so the referee rightly gave nothing, and it's going to be a throw into Leicester now. Thrown from Ricardo, comes in down this side. Ricardo boots it over the top, and it goes all the way back to the Derby County defence there. 10 minutes left for Derby to do something here. They had a little flurry there, but we killed their flurry, really, after they have just penned back for quite a while. Leicester trying to counter now, but Skip will play it back to Vestergaard, who now plays a nice pass forward. James, unfortunately, gives it away now, though. I'm sat in a bar in Iron on Greece. I'm listening to a commentary because one stream... Oh, bless you. Great, I'll try and make sure my commentary is good then. As I say that, Silko Thomas is bringing the ball in towards the Derby penalty area. He gets the ball across and it's straight into the goalkeeper's arms. A little bit pulled further back there from Silko Thomas. We'd had a 4th Leicester goal because there was Daka up there ready to get at the end of it. Vardy on fire. Yeah, he's awesome, isn't he? He's still relatively fit. And I think right now, honestly, we could do with some proper Leicester people playing in this team. You can just make sure they're playing for the right reasons. I do think leadership's a problem in this team. I think we all think it is. As Stolarkic's got wonky foot. He's boosting out. He does. He's very Kasper Schmeichel-like, isn't he? What a signing for Sunderland. Zaka. Yeah, because they identified they needed a leader, didn't they, Nate? And they went and got a leader. Leicester win a throw in here. Silko Thomas got pushed over. Great commentary, by the way. Thank you very much, Paul. I'm trying, mate. I'm trying to get the balance right. It'll get better. We've got 2 more watch-alongs after this where Chris is going to be away, right? So we'll get better. But the graphics are the thing I've struggled with today. They're the thing that I've got to work on. So I'll go back and make sure I've got all the right graphics. because I kind of feel like I've broken into someone's house and I haven't got access to the lights to put the lights on. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. I think for European football next season, they could. I tell you what, and this is the thing I've been saying about Leicester, right? To compare Sunderland to Leicester, we need to find our own identity and not try and copy someone else's. Top's got a thing about the certain style of football we play, right? And I don't think that's the way to do it. I think we shouldn't try to be like anyone else. We should be completely different. We won the Premier League with 4-4-2. Back then, 4-4-2 wasn't as popular, right? So there we go. And Gray's confirming no players in January. That's looking incredibly likely to be the outcome. I'm just hoping we don't get a points deduction. Derby bring the ball over halfway now. We've got 6 minutes to go and a bit of added time. Blackett-Taylor now matching up against Nelson, and Nelson did really well there. Wins that duel, and Leicester can now come away down this far side as well. Into the middle, loads of room for Jordan James. There's Mavididi there, slowly coming over halfway. Looking a bit tired, Mouse, but he's going to come inside and run with the ball. It's opened up. Oh, and the Derby defender got back there, Clark, right at the end. But Mavididi saw the whole pitch open up. There was Derby players running in between the line. He ran through them like the freight train through the middle. Unfortunately, couldn't get the strike away towards the goal from outside the area because another Derby player came back and managed to just cut him off. But interesting stuff there. Could have been an opportunity for 4. To me, with 5 minutes to go here, looks like both teams are checked out of this game a little bit. Looks like Derby have given all the energy they're going to be able to give for it. And looks like the Leicester are just, quite comfortable, just passing the ball around the back. Hamza is sat back in there as a defensive mid alongside Skip and James. Oh, no, James looks like he's playing, more advanced now as well. As he flicks the ball on well there to Silko Thomas, who's driving through. There's a pass on. Oh, and he couldn't make it. There was space there for Daka. He was onside, and we couldn't find him with the flick pass from Silko Thomas. It was blocked really well by the Derby defender. Mavididi now just inside the penalty area. Got one man in front of him. Dinks the ball in towards the back post. There's a little bit of argy-bargy, but the referee said no. Silko Thomas gets back up, and the goalkeeper's picked it up as we get to the 85th minute, and Derby won Leicester 3. So we couldn't create a goal from that one, but interesting enough, Silko Thomas has looked very much, like he's quite having a lively day today since he's come on. He's come inside and driven at the team. There's Greg. Come on, Leicester. Come on, Leicester. Come on, Leicester. Well said, mate. Well said. Into the final 5 minutes. They got John Rudkin in the stand there on camera. You decide at home what noise you make to sing John Rudkin at home. He looks deep in thought, licking his lips a little bit. Planning his master stroke to sell Sumari to AC Milan for 50 million quid. Come on, John, you know you can do it. Jack up to take the goal kick here. Last 5, come on, boys. And great, we support the Leicester. Yes, that's the way we like it. Absolutely. Derby with a free kick now. We get into a little bit of a scuffle there. 2 players coming on for Leicester just to try and kill some time here. Aluko's coming on. Page is coming on as well, guys. We've got Page and Aluko coming on here with 4 minutes to go. Mavididi's coming off, and so is Jordan James. So that's interesting. So Aluko looks like he's going into Mavrididi's position. Maybe he's playing on the wing here. They're still too slow on transition. They are second half, in particular. First half, they were quicker, mate, and playing through the lines. Second half, yeah. Was that Martin George next to Rudkin? Looked like it could have been. Good shout. Great, great. JJ and Skip, joint man of the match. I don't disagree with the statement. Anyway, Derby take a free kick now. They pump it into our half. It bounces down. There's a Derby player at the back post, and it's saved by Jacob one-on-one. The ball comes back in. Oh, and a Derby player needs it over the top of the crossbar. That was an opportunity for Derby there, guys, right at the death. 3 minutes. The long ball in from the free kick. It came over the halfway line. Leicester in a duel there. The ball was won, and it bounced around in front of the goalkeeper. He comes out, blocks it away with his leg while the strike was oncoming. The one-on-one save from Jacob. The ball then came back inside, and I believe it was Clark. Need it over the top of the crossbar. He couldn't get his foot behind it. No, it was Langas. So that was a big chance for Derby. You now argue, bearing in mind that one went past the far post. That might have been their last big chance of the game. And they are Gray confirming it was indeed Paul George Martin. Yeah. It was George Martin Paul, was what he meant. Stephen Smith's chant there, everyone. You let you read that in your own time. Wyman's just brought down someone here who's on their all fours. It's Skip. Referee's having a word with Skip and the Derby player here. Jimbo Jacob solid in return. I think that is very true, mate. Leicester with a free kick it's in the Derby half. We're going to play it short to Skip. We're going to pass it around the back. Thomas down to Thomas. Thomas and Thomas down the left-hand side now. I have to say Luke, and I'll have to say, oh my word. I'm going to have to mix it up for these two. Silko. I'm in a good mood because we're winning, lol. It's been a good performance, I think, guys, to be fair. I mean, Derby have showed little flurries of the dangerous team, but it's one of those where if you turn up on your day, you never know. And what a performance. A 3-1 for Leicester so far. We're into the 89th minute now. The ball thrown in now from Derby as they're going to play it around the back. Elder trying to come forward. Derby on the counter-attack here. It comes down as a chance for Derby, and it's blocked off the line there by the Leicester centre-back. It was Nelson. Blocks around here. Luco clears it out, tries to get out for a throw, but Derby has still got the ball back. There was a big gap there down towards where the left-back position was for Leicester. The ball fell free. The strike came in, blocked by Nelson because it had gone past Jacob. The cross now from Derby is blocked by Luke Thomas and has gone out for a throwing attempt now. We're waiting to see how much added time there is as we get towards 90 minutes. It's all over now. Let's hope so, because that was a big chance. If that had gone in the back of the net, we'd have had a squeaky bum time for the last 5 minutes of added time, guys. 5 minutes it is of added time as well. I guess that really well. Elder's off here for Derby. A couple of changes right at the death for them. Change of captains for Derby. Corner coming in now. We're into 30 seconds of the added time. Bit of pushing going around in the box here. Played in by Derby. There's a header and there's a great save from Jacob. The corner came in. It didn't drop in the 6 yards box. It was a slightly further back there. There was an easy unmarked header from Wilson. He got power on it. It was going to the goalkeeper's right about halfway up the goal. It was going inside the post. Jacob gets down, makes a great save to parry behind, and we're going to face another corner now. But the main thing is he kept it out. We're doing enough for the second half to keep Derby frustrated, guys. Hoping we can see the game out now. Don't want any late drama. Corners are coming in here, Blue Fox. Corners are coming in, mate. Next one in for Derby towards the near post. Jacob punches it clear again. It falls to a Derby player outside the area. Gets the strike away, but Aluko's there to block it. And it goes out for a throw-in. No, it was Silko Thomas. My apologies. They got very similar physiques, Silko and Aluko. They're both really good athletes, you could tell. Here come Derby now down this right-hand side again. Leicester still penned in. We got 2 minutes into the 5 added on, and there's going to be another corner. This one, the cross came in and hit Daka in the stomach and went behind. Backs to the wall here. If Derby get one, guys, oh my word, there's going to be a dramatic end to this. It's going to be Ward to take it now. Corner comes in now towards the near post. It's low and it's cleared away by the Leicester man. Comes back out to the same taker who plays it in towards the back post. Floats over everyone and it's going to trickle out towards the throwing line. But the Derby players kept it back in here, guys. outside the area, crossed in towards the back post. Jacobs come out. Oh, and he tried to catch it, and he's fallen over backwards. He's banged into the Derby player. His fingertips have put it out for a corner, but Jacob misjudged the flight of that ball into the box, and he's fallen backwards onto his head here. Yeah, he sort of grabbed the Derby player as he was falling down. I think he's landed awkwardly. Hopefully he's okay. And to be fair to the Derby player, he did try and catch him, actually. But Jacob's down on the ground here, guys. Just got his arm over his face. Looks a little bit of discomfort here. This will increase the added time as we're up to 93 minutes now. And there's Gray. Forever and ever will follow our team. The name is Leicester. We rule supreme. Gray, you are a poet, my friend. You really are. Still getting treatment here, Jacob. Hope he's all right, because that would not be helpful to leave this game down a goalkeeper, would it, guys? Bobby Duckles over Reed's having a good laugh with Jordan James on the bench. Maradini's looking on very, very moodily, like he's got a bit of a mood on. I like kind of player, a moody player. Long throwing about to come in by Derby, but they're still treating Jacob here, and he hasn't got up. They can't take him off, can they? Because he's the goalkeeper. There's going to be more minutes here to play because we're up to 94 now. A minute of that, Jacob's been down. He is now back up on his feet. And he's all back here in the goal now with all the Leicester players around him because we've got this long throwing that we're about to face here. 94 minutes on the clock. Going to probably go to 96, 97 here. Corner comes in from Derby now. Ward towards the back post. It was an outswinger, but no one could get on the end of it. The power was something ferocious on that corner, guys. Aluko tries to clear it. Derby pick it up again now. Backs to the wall for Leicester. Aluko comes charging out, trying to use that pace to scare the Derby players off. Same goes for Silko as well. And then we get the foot in there from Skip. Skip's been everywhere today, guys. Skip's doing incredibly well. Getting towards the 5th minute. In it comes from Ward. Long throw. Going to be towards the 6-yard box. And there's a Leicester player bundled over. And that's going to be a free kick. Clark pushed his man over. It was Daka who went down. Good stuff. Daka giving his teammates a G up there. Holding on here. Derby 1, Leicester 3, guys. Come on. We got some early shouts of man of the match. JJ. Skip was brilliant too, Craig. Ultimately, it's looking like it's going to be a 3-1 win, guys. We're past the 95 minutes. We're just waiting now for the referee to say we're done here. Jacob takes the goal kick. Referee, it's over anyway. You might as well blow. Goal kick taken out now by Derby. So it wasn't a goal kick. It was passed back to the goalkeeper. Any other early kickoffs, Tom? There is indeed, mate. I will tell you in 1 second what those are before we head to the break, before we do the post-match show. Derby still trying to come on us here, though. We're into the 96th minute of 5 added on. I think the referee was going to add on a minute. There's a shock in the Premier League. Aston Villa full-time here. Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1. Last-minute winner for Buendia. In the Championship now, we've got a corker of a game at Vicarage Road. Norwich were winning 2-1 away at Watford. It's now in the 94th minute, and it's Watford 3, Norwich 2. And Charlton Portsmouth, unfortunately, has been suspended after 12 minutes because of a medical emergency. So at the moment, there is no game playing at Charlton. It is still 0-0. It was suspended on 12 minutes. Derby player goes down in the penalty area here. It's gone out for a throwing. We're up to 97 minutes, guys. He's going to play it back. We're just waiting now for the whistle. Referee, Clark. Jackson gets a strike away. This is not a good strike. And there's the full-time whistle, guys. There's an argument kicking off down here. The referee's just blown. It's 3-1 Leicester, full-time here. Stolarczyk getting into an argument there with Wyman. There's a few Leicester players, and Hamza's trying to calm people down as well. Ooh. What a dramatic end. Thanks, Tom. Thank you very much. Guys, going to get the boys in for the post-match. I need to go water the plants. We have got the 3 points. 3-1 away win at Derby. Oh, it tastes so good when you win away from home, doesn't it? What were we worried about pre-match, guys? What were we worried about? Anyway, We'll see you back here in about 3 minutes once we've just gone had a little break. So let me just get the video loaded up. And we're back, guys. Look at this. Let me get all the things back going here because I just clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Look at that hat there, Jim. Well, let's first welcome Jim into the show, everyone. Jim, how are you?
Did Christmas come early?
I think it did,
For
bud.
Leicester fans?
You were ready for it, mate. I can see you were ready for the joke on that one. That's a brilliant one, mate. Well done to you. How are you doing, Jim? Are you all right, mate?
Wonderful. Even better now after this match.
100%, mate. Nice little result there in the top corner. And Wayne, good to have you back as well, mate, in the post-match today. What's your first thoughts of what we just saw today then? 3-1 win.
Wow, where is that? That's the best performance, I think, over 90 minutes for everything combined that I've seen this season.
Yeah, I think so as well. I was going to say I was shocked because obviously I was coming into this quite poo-pooey about it, thinking, well, teams are going to have worked us out and all the rest of it. And credit to the boys today. I think the substantial changes we saw pre-match, we saw obviously no Sumari involved, no Winks involved for whatever reason, no Faze in there as well, Nelson back in. And I just think the team today looked a hell of a lot better, right? Hell of a lot better. Let's get some comments quickly, lads, before we start. We've got Blue Fox. What a game. Excellent job, Tom. Thank you very much. Still getting used to the technical side of it, but there we go. Helen, thank you very much. Helen, much appreciated. And thank you to all the mods today as well, of course. Do a great job as usual. Scott, today, regardless of the result today, every player on that pitch has shown what's been missing all season. That is what the fans want to see. The standard has been shown. Let's see more of it. I think that's a great one. Great. Leaving Faze, Winks and Sumari out. We're moving forward. Like we just said, I think that's a great one. Can Tom do commentary every... If the results stay this way, we'll have to do it, guys. I don't know, but I'll have to get better. My voice is going, I must be honest. I'm going to be coughing a lot, so there we go. Today's team really played well. Didn't really look disinterested. That's good. Leave Chris out too. I'm sure he's having great fun. And Blue Fox, I said afternoon to you both as well, guys. So, yeah. So, right, let's get back to the start of the game. Wayne, so coming into this, we all kind of felt, oh, this could be difficult for us, right? Because we have a few bad results, conceding lots of goals against a Derby team that seems to have found a bit of form in the last few games. But then early on, mate, we go out there, after a bit of back and forth, we take the lead in this one. What's your thoughts going back to the first goal and how Leicester started this one?
Yeah, I just like the way we took it, and JJ was central. Without JJ, I don't think we'd have scored that goal because the ball from Fatou Abdul was a bit hot for him. But he just turned it, and then literally to turn around and spin to see what's available in a split second, and then to pass in between two players. That was a thing of beauty and finished off well. What a great, I mean, that's what we've been hoping for all season. Quick forward play, get the ball at the wing, get the ball near the box, and get a chance on goal.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Couldn't agree with you any more there. Jim, what did you make, of course, of the first goal and the second goal as well, mate? Obviously, we came out of the blocks there, and was it a case of we finally showed that bit of sharpness to team, you know, other clubs, when they look at us, say, well, they're a good team on paper. Did we finally find some of that sharpness up the top?
I think we did. I mean, props to Marty for putting this lineup on the field. I think we came out with the desire to not only play well, but to play hard and to play together. And they showed it from the start. The first goal was great. I mean, Tom, you called it well. And then when Skip scored, I think, Tom, you squealed a little bit. It was like, oh my God, we were shocked. Not only did we get the second goal and go up 2-0, but Skip scored it. I think we came with desire. I saw in the faces of the players before kickoff. I saw it as they played that. I mean, really the whole first half. But to your question, the start, they saw it from the start, and I think they never gave it up, even when faced with adversity in the second half. So it was a great way for us to start.
Wonderful. Comment here from Scott. What a 90-minute performance there. Who would have thought? Effort and determination. I'm sure everyone will pick JJ as man of the match, and well deserved. That was a full team performance. I might play devil's advocate today with my pick of man of the match, just to mix it up a bit, do Chris's role in this, right? But we'll get to that a bit later on. Let's get to this question quickly, guys, before we go back to the game. Blue Fox is rightly asked here, has Marty finally found his starting 11? Wayne, do you think this is the starting 11 now we stick with going forward, or would you tweak anything?
Not really. It's just whether Aluko, maybe starts alongside Nelson. But no, you can't argue with that performance. And I think it is a starting 11, and what you often find is displace the stars that maybe have a bad attitude, and the team does gel. And the dynamic of the team looked spot on. It was the defense looked balanced and in control. Even during that second half, I wasn't panicking, and the midfield looked well balanced, and we had a transition into the attacking final third. I don't think we've had that all season, really.
No, very good, mate. I mean, Jim, what do you think on the back of that as well? Would you have this team as well? I know you're a Jordan Ayew guy, mate, obviously. So
no, and I really did like the starting lineup. To what Wayne said, you mentioned Aluko. I really thought one of my notes was Nelson and Vestergaard played well together. It was a good pairing. It enabled Vestergaard to just stay home and play where he's comfortable. And Nelson, his tenacity, and then like Wayne said as well, the midfield control the game for the most part. I liked it, whether you put Ayo up front or not, and whether you can make a point that, you know, Daka gives you more speed or more quickness. I just like the fact that they played well together, and they seemed to play together for each other. And I think maybe leaving my boy Ayo in there gives him a little bit of experience to calm him down if those, you know, that testosterone gets going on these young kids. But man, I did like this starting lineup, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does the next go around.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd feel disappointed now if we see Winks and Sumari just sort of like just float their way back into the squad contention next week. Because I think even having Page and Jake Evans on the bench, there's an upside there, isn't there? Maybe we're kind of learning from the Southampton debacle with chucking Aluko into the deep end, you know, getting the red card. Maybe we've learned now, okay, let's get these youngsters on the bench, the things we kind of been preaching here a little bit as well, guys. So getting back to the game now, quick. Guys, I keep getting your comments in, guys, and your thoughts on today. We will also interject them in between what we're talking about as well here. But so back to you here, Wayne. So yeah, the second goal then we've just gone over. So let's go to the offside. I mean, I know we mentioned it briefly again, but in the Premier League with VAR, that's a goal, right? In the Championship, it's not. What's your thoughts and feelings on that one, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm still a fan of no VAR, and I think they will even out. But he was robbed. Basically, I mean, Jim's frothing at the mouth probably because it was like a Stevie Walsh back in the old days kind of header, weren't it? Or a Stevie Chloe, whatever. He really thumped that ball with his head. The timing, Luke Thomas's free kick was amazing, and the way he had that ball, and it was a thing of beauty and joy.
How often can we say that on this channel? Wasn't we, me and Chris doing the hosting? So that is a very good way of putting it, Wait. Jim, what did you think about the offside goal? Firstly, do you think it was offside, or you
clearly? Clearly, and not just because it was he was clearly onside, not an offside. Yeah. He was clearly onside, and I may differ a little bit from Wayne. I would love to see VAR because I think that was a goal. And certainly we'll talk more in the second half on their opportunity that might have been reversed with VAR. But, oh, man, what a strike. What a header. I mean, Wayne put in a text to me. He said it was a ferocious header, and he really did. It was perfectly placed by Thomas and a great header by Ayew. But I'd rather VAR overrule the offsides and get that goal.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Yeah, because I think the referees, it's been said in the chat quite a bit as well, the referee, again, probably didn't have the best game. We're seeing this quite a lot of weeks. Linesman was daydreaming, a quite left from Dorker. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Yeah, and so, yeah, I get what you're saying there, Jim. I think there's a lot of merit to maybe consider it. But I think the problem is sometimes even VAR can be wrong, can't it? So it really depends on when they pause it and anything else, and where your foot is at that moment in time or anything else. But anyway, Wayne, let's get the first round tied up here. We can get on in towards the second. So then came a goal which did count, which was for Jordan James, a ball in from Thomas. Nice link-up play on the left. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on the Jordan James one where he poked it in?
Well, when he poked it in, I expected him to turn around to the camera and go, "See, Tom, I was right. We are Premier quality."
Well, his post wasn't wrong, was it? If that's what we're going to do, yeah.
It wasn't. It thought me at the time. He's just quality. They say don't fall in love with a lone player. I mean, can we? We've got options, haven't we, on him? I'm sure we have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's going to cost us 4.3 million if we want to get it done permanently, which seems a fair deal, really, doesn't it? So, yeah, and like Gray is saying here, he's top tier. Just a quick question I've asked from Scott: would I feel disappointed Tom if Faze got back into the squad, as you mentioned, Winks and Sumare, but not Faze? I think it's interesting at centre backs. I don't think we got a ready-made centre back to come from the academy to go on the bench. So I would have Faze on the bench because I think you're going to need a centre-back option for other things. And he could play a bit part. But I do think we've seen today Nelson's positional work was very good, wasn't it? And a surprising bit where he played a high line with Vestergaard as well at times. He got back at this time and didn't get caught out. So I think that was quite encouraging, from that regard anyway. So Anyway, so we got through the first half, and here's the big question, guys. Really, so the first half, really, it was all Leicester. Really, it was we were pretty much on top of them. They started a little bit well, but we showed all the quality going forward and the nice intricate passing towards their goal, which created us opportunities. But was it a game of two halves? I'll come to you first, Jim, with this one. Do you think, Jim, there was a massive drop off in how we approached the second half and played the second half versus the first? And do you think that was bad of us to do that?
I don't think initially there was a big drop off. I thought we came out on the front foot to start the second half. I really did. Certainly when they scored their goal, which we'll talk about the goal, whether it was onside or offside. But I think when they scored their goal, they got the momentum. They had a little bit of that behind them. They seemed to be more on the front foot. But we played tough after that. So, no, I think for the most part, Leicester was the better squad, and I think that they deserved the outcome, without a doubt.
That's interesting. Yeah. Wayne, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think in the second half, really, we kind of dropped the ball a bit? Or do you think we could have got ourselves in trouble there? Or do you think we were comfortable, really, with how things have gone?
I think it's always interesting how you approach the second, because I think that was the best 90 minutes, but you won't ever, even Man City, you're not ever on top for 90 minutes. I play football every Sunday. You can get 4 goals ahead, and the other team always comes back in general. So Derby they were at home as well. But I didn't feel the game was out of control, I suppose, where I have done with other games that we've had where our heads have gone and we are become positionally very unaware, panic, do rash decisions. We did go through a 5-10 minute phase where we gave the ball away cheaply, and why it probably made the subs. But I never felt the game was out of control, and I do accept that other teams will have periods in the game. And I thought it was going to be interesting how it plays out with the way Marty's done it. And I think maybe that's building our character and shows that we have got more character than we actually maybe thought we had.
Yeah, I think especially in this group in particular today. I mean, they say Rome's not built in a day, so we can't read too much into one game. But the foundation of what we saw today, I agree that there was a lot more of that, which I think we've lacked as one of the biggest glaring red flags of the football club right now, for the entire season. So I definitely agree with you on that one, mate. I think it's been fascinating to see that. I find it fascinating as well, because we've said it many times about you don't want to fall in love with a loan player. We know he's available for £4.3 million, but we're going to bring him up again here because he was out there just doing an interview right now on the touchline actually with ITV, and you just think, Jim, is Jordan James going to be the guy that is going to become the next de facto Leicester leader? Because he seems to be walking into the role on his own back, doesn't he?
I'm sorry, Tom.
That's all right, mate. You were busy there. It's not a problem. I was just saying, do you think Jordan James is walking himself into a leadership role at this football club right now, of his performances and the things he's been saying?
Oh, absolutely. I think his play has garnered that from the get-go. I mean, since he first got to the squad and since he first started playing, he showed it on the field. But I think the rest of the team, remember, a lot of them are young. They're out there. They're seeing that that kind of performance from him and that effort from him, and they're showing the same thing. Certainly they did today. But yeah, we talked for weeks and weeks about lack of leadership. Maybe it's the turn. Maybe because you saw him, how animated he was up and down the field. And even afterwards in the when he was sitting on the bench, his conversation with Bobby, it was like you could see the joy and the excitement, but he was still locked in the game. So yeah, it was good to see that. And hopefully it rubs off on the rest of the players.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Wayne, what's your thoughts on Jordan James and what he's emerging into at Leicester City Football Club so far?
Yeah, honestly, when you're asking Jim the question, it's made me smile because I wrote down JJ future captain.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because you'd argue Ricardo's the captain right now, but he's not sort of the vocal captain that we see a lot of at times. But so you think JJ is going to be a lock-in? We sign him up now?
Yeah, I do. One thing I do like about Ricky P, he does look like he's starting to get more mobile and more match fit. So he definitely was involved more in the game, but he is a quiet leader. But JJ is more, come on. He's one of those, isn't he? And you do need one of those.
Yeah, he sort of lifts the room, I think, doesn't he, a little bit? And I think that's probably what we lost when we lost Jamie Vardy, to be honest. He was the last piece of that sort of room lifting sort of characteristic. But right, Jim, into the second half anyway. So Derby makes some changes early. They bring on Thompson, they bring on Vyman as well. Vyman got a lot of championship experience as well. Skip gets brought down and Thompson gets a yellow card quite early. And then we got the goal from Derby, the cross coming in, the defender there who got the goal, Langas, breaking free from his man. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it was just one of those from a set piece that, we didn't deal with, or do you think we could have done better with the defending?
I think so. I mean, it was a great ball in. He was right where he needed to be. I didn't see any lack of defending. I mean, somebody could analyze it and overanalyze it and say this defender should be here, this one should have been there. But it was a quick bang, bang shot in. I do think, once again, like I said earlier, if they called Ayu's offside, then this should have been offside, because even the TV announcer said that. They thought Ayu was onside, and they thought, the same way we felt, that if the first one was offsides, that one should have been. But, let's not cry over spilled milk. We gave up. They had a good shot in and a good finish. But then that was the critical point. They scored the goal. They got not up, but they started playing harder now. And what were we going to do? How were we going to respond?
Yeah, and I think we got our backs out there, didn't we? And Wayne, do you kind of think like that's kind of the dream scenario for what Marty would like in a football team? He'd like to be 3-0 up, and then he'd like to be able to park the bus and just limit the game and opportunities. If you think that's the plan, do you think we were successful at this afternoon?
I think we were, yeah. I think we Abdul lost the ball a couple of times where he tried to run through a midfielder, lost the ball, and then he tried a long lump up field, and Daka was nowhere going to run for it. And I think that's when, although you can do that, you still have got to have quality to hold on to the ball when you have got the ball to, like, as we say, and all the best coaches do, they interrupt. If you get excited on top, you've got to interrupt their flow of the game. I do think it's interesting that Derby I don't think they particularly high pressed us in any major part of the game aggressively, really. But I think it's a good game management, to come out 3-1 after the string of results and how up and down we are. I think that's a really good game to manage. And as we were talking before, do you think if we lose against Derby, Marty will probably get the sack? It's interesting that he's managed this game really well.
Jim,
and not only is it a really good game to manage for him in that scenario, but he's not been in that before. We've been on the other side of it. So good learning for him.
Yeah, I think it's only the second time alongside maybe the Swansea game where I kind of felt we probably controlled it enough where there wasn't too many concerns about the outcome. For every other of the 16, 15 games, however many it's been, I think there's been examples in those games of us being at times under a pressure. And I think it's interesting today how we managed to, as Grace put here, we cleared our lines faffing about. There was more balance in that, wasn't there, Wayne, with what was going on today? Do you think we've seen a bit of a tactical evolution today, or is he still really primarily passing out from the back?
I think he is. There was a clearing. I think, like Gray said, we cleared our lines instead of faffing about. I think certain times we did play it out intelligent there, but other times we did clear it. One thing I noticed, I made a note to ask you, Tom, about keeper is Stolarczyk punching the ball out all the time, because the TV says, he's not really catching the ball, Stolarczyk. And I hadn't noticed that from him before particularly, but no. I do think we weren't allowing them second and third chances within the box. They're having to recycle it and then come again, which I think is really encouraging, because we have looked a mess before, and I think if our headspace was like a month ago, I think we would have been in trouble in this game maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, mate. Definitely. Yeah. Jim, so after Derby obviously brought the goal back and we got back to 3-1, then there came another round of pressure from Derby. There was some balls in towards the back post. Like Wayne said there, Jacob started punching a lot more than what he normally would. The one he tried to grab, ironically, as Derek's just put here, too wet to risk catching. Probably a fair comment, that, boys, because actually it was really hammering down with rain, wasn't it? But the one he did try and catch, he did fall over and land on his head as well, which kind of summed things up, didn't it? But yeah, so after that, Jim, we went through that pressure from Derby. can you take yourself back to that moment and kind of think, did you think we were going to ride it out? Because we talked about how we defensively come out a lot more stronger the second half, but there will still be that worry in the back of our minds of if they'd scored another goal during this period, would we have dropped some points in this game? What did you make of that, how we rode out that pressure?
I would say, to be honest, there was a little anxiety, what are they going to do? But I really was still excited about the way the team was playing. So I was more of the thought of, let's see how they step up. Let's see what they're going to do with this. And now if they'd have scored another one, then I would have been a different story. But I was looking at this as their opportunity to see what they do or what they could do. And I'll tell you what, they did it together as a team. Their defense got there and played across the board, blocked shot after shot. And it wasn't like previous games where we were getting hammered and they were peppering us and, some of our players were wildly diving. We had a lot of clean blocks by our defense through that whole second half when they were putting the pressure on us. And that's what I mean by the whole team stepped up. Jakob made some brilliant saves, but there were some other stops made by his team in front of him, and I was impressed with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a comment here I just want us all to go through, actually, because Grace made a good point here. Because they couldn't shoot, we never looked in trouble. Wayne, how much do we read into the fact that Derby didn't have their shooting boots on today? Because I did say in the pre-match, 10 of their goals have come from one player who's out injured till January. The next highest goal score for them is Adjuman with 3, and then there's one guy with 2, and all the rest have got 1 goal each. So is it a case of Derby just a little bit impotent up front, perhaps, today, which helped us?
I do think, I know Jim's shaking his head, but I do think that because he's got a lot of goals, hasn't he? Let's face it. I mean, yeah, same as with us not having Vardy now, that's seriously affected our goal tally, and we would be maybe in the top 2, definitely in the top 4 if Vardy had put 4 goals in, for instance. So I think that is the case. They did miss him, but I do think we were resilient in front of them. And we didn't allow them particularly the space to fashion that chance. So I think it's a mix of the two, being realistic, really, without sort of Leicester glasses on. Yeah, mixing the two.
Well, Jim, I'll take the same question and extend it slightly for you, Jim. Do you think today's performance, and based off that, can be seen as we've turned a corner under Marty after a few difficult weeks? Or do you think we've got to be relative that it was against Derby, not being mean to them, but they didn't look like they could finish well today? Is this, the same as it was coming into this game, or have we turned a corner, bud?
I think a mix of it. To follow up on Wayne's question, with their top scorer being out, that certainly affected their opportunity to put goals on the board. However, they had a lot of quality strikes. They were hitting them hard. Once again, I thought Jakob made some great saves, and I think our players in front of them stopped them. So I think they were shooting well. They weren't finishing because a couple great saves, a couple great blocks. Now, they did have a couple that they hit up over the top of the bar, so maybe they weren't accurate. But the second part of your question, this may be a turning point. If he puts this same lineup back out for the next game, that means they showed him something, not just us, but something on the field, and he's got confidence that they can do it again. And that's what we're going to be looking to see. I think we've talked all this season and the last season about the youngsters getting confidence. The only way you're going to get a confidence is to get playing time. So having Ben Nelson back in there, that was huge. It was huge. And having the rest of the young players, Bobby DeCover-Reed starting, Thomas was a beast. And those young players are getting confidence. And you said on the watch-along, he brought the young players in off the bench too, which is getting a meaningful playing time. So, there's a real good opportunity. This may be a turning point. And it comes from confidence gain from playing time.
That's great, mate. Wayne, I was going to say just as well, Wayne, just extending that. Everyone's been saying in the chat, Silker Thomas looked a threat going forward. So we're talking about the youth. I was going to say to you, my question is this the best we've seen from Silker Thomas in a Leicester shirt so far?
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. I mean, his runs, he kept the ball. He kept the ball, and he's got the confidence. He can be in the middle of a group of players, and he knows he's got the ability to, even if he's closed down, escape with the ball. And some of his decisions to half a step, delay the pass, sell the defender and then run out wide. He played the ball with JJ out wide and he pointed then. He said, I want the ball here. I want the ball here. He crossed the ball in. It was a bit near the keeper, but yeah, that's exciting. And that's after we were losing the ball quickly when we're playing it out up front. Silko Thomas allowed us to keep the ball longer, which then eased the pressures wrong defence. So all round, he had it brilliant. And like some of the, like Jim, you, some of the guys in the chat said, that's a great tick in his CV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very well said, mate. Very well said. So, like Jeff said there, this performance needs to be repeated time and time again. Question from Derek, which I think is a good one for us to look at in a minute. I'll come to you first, Jim. Has Winks played his last game for Leicester, considering he wasn't even on the bench? What do you think to that, Jim? Do you reckon we'll see him again, or do you think it's probably time both sides moved on from each other? He's out of contract at the end of the season, of course.
I think this may be the time. I mean, what we have seen with Skip, shocking to all of us, but very pleasant. We're very excited what we've seen with him. We know that JJ can play that position alongside of him. That may be our midfield going forward. And then it allows Marty then to place players how he wants in the other roles, whether it be attacking center mid, whether it be striker or whatever. So I do think that what we've seen, Skip actually just continues to amaze us. So with his play, we know what JJ can do. I think the time is done for Winks.
Yeah, would you agree with that, Wayne? Did you think there's like maybe Sumare as well, and anyone else you could think of we might not be including going forward?
Yeah, Scott said about he's spot on about the things they ought to be doing. Yeah, I mean, I know you and myself have been not fan of Winks. When he's got people around him who do the hard work for him, he looks better against weaker teams. Against the better, more physical team, Winks has not got the physicality to deal with those. And the Championship has moved on a lot. It's a very physical, very technical, skillful, fluid league. And Skip's not up to the Championship standard regularly. So I think he does need to move on. And thank goodness, because the team was better. Everybody played well. And so if everybody has a really good game and Samari and Winks are not in the team, sorry, if you apply logic.
That is true, mate. That is true. Jim, you were going to say something there, I believe.
Yeah. I guess the question I kept thinking as I'm watching the game is what brought on the turnaround from Skip? Okay.
Yeah,
really. And the last 3 games, he's been phenomenal. And he played where we needed him, how we needed him. And I'm starting to think Marty couldn't have just lit a fire under him. Something, whatever it is, we're happy with, and we want to continue to see it. But it's just amazing to me the turnaround and certainly the way he's played.
Yeah, it's funny for me because I never saw the option of taking Winks out and putting Skip in. Actually, I never thought it would. For what we were trying to do, I kind of felt that Winks was a shoo-in, like most fans probably would. I don't think he ever deserved to be the first name on the team sheet. I just felt for the formation tactics Marty was looking to employ, I think that he was always going to be that man. So I'm very pleasantly surprised by Skip. And I think now we'll get to that portion of the show, lads, where we go through who we think is going to be the man of the match and who we think, or what we think of the team performance. I won't be able to get Alan's score because obviously he would have texted Chris and Chris isn't here. So I just hope Alan had a great game today if he did go, because what a great win away at Derby as well. First time we played him in 10 years in the league. So, right, guys, what I was going to do today is just do it slightly different. So all of us have 2 nominations for a good performance of the day, and then we give our man of the match. So when we go to each of you, do your first 2, what do they call them? Players you want to mention,
Honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. Thank you very much, Jim. You know English better than me, mate. Brilliant. Yeah. So we'll do that and then do your man of the match. So we'll start with you, Wayne. So 2 honorable mentions and who's your man of the match. Get yours in the chat as well, guys.
This is difficult because we've got so many good players.
Who would have thought we'd be saying that at full time today?
Yeah, I know.
It's the polar opposite of playing shit and trying to search for a good player. Yeah, man of the match. Oh, all right. So I'd say Skip for his 3rd consecutive consistent, rather than 1 good game and 1 bad game. He's Mr. Consistent, 6, 7 out of 10. Get them in the team every week. And I'd say Nelson, because I think he's what Vestergaard isn't the future, but I think Faz goes positionally out of thing, and he then exposes Vestergaard, who then exposes Thomas. Nelson is so super intelligent. He knows just where to be, bearing in mind Vestergaard is slow, and he covered a lot of his mistakes, because Vestergaard, when he was one-on-one with defenders, he either body checked them or they got past him. So I'd say Nelson for making a significant difference to the defence.
Okay,
and man of the match is JJ.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know if you were going to deviate away from JJ today, but yeah, give us your thoughts on Jordan James again, mate. Is it just a standard Jordan James legacy performance he seems to put in every week now for Leicester?
Is, and you know, you like in the past in our betting, you know what you're getting from the players, and JJ delivers 7-8 every single week, maybe 8.5, 9. He is influential. He leads by example. He has got a fantastic engine on him. He's competitive and he's really skillful in tight spaces as well. And he knows where the net is. But apart from that, he's quite ordinary.
Well said.
Amazing. Well said, mate. Well said. Okay, so we've got one man of the matches in, and that will be for JJ. The guy's probably won most man of the matches of this season, guys.
Yeah.
So that's a good start. Jim, so what are your two? You have 2 or 3, mate, that you think, played well?
I will follow along with the guy that continues to amaze us as an honorable mention. Wayne mentioned him too, Skip. I think Oliver Skip I watched him one time during the match. He was actually dribbling the ball upfield with speed. And I still don't know where that speed came from. But he has been gutsy. He had that one beautiful slide tackle in the first half and got the ball. Then he had one in the second half. He got a foul called against him, but he did get the ball as well. So I think his quickness and his energy and he just continues to amaze us. So I had him as a honorable mention. Not that he's one of my honorable mentions, but I mentioned Nelson earlier and Wayne just elaborated on him. He's just a beast back there, and he gives us so many opportunities from that position, the center back. My second honorable mention is a guy you may not have heard about. His name is JJ. He makes, as you want your true superstars to do, he makes his teammates better, okay? Up and down the pitch. And I think he continues to show it in every facet, whatever position. I think we've seen his best position. And without giving him another man of the match, I think he is right there as a 1A. So another great game by Jordan James. I gave my man of the match to Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas, I watched him the whole match. He's done everything right. Quickness, strength, bringing the ball upfield. His free kicks were brilliant. The corners that he took were brilliant. Everything. So I really like the way he plays. He's tough. And once again, like I mentioned earlier about playing time, the more time we see him play, the more time we see Nelson play, they're gonna get better and better. This could be the beginning of a lot of good things with these young players gaining confidence. But truly, I thought to be a little different, to play the Tom role, the out of the blue, I went strictly with Luke Thomas as man of the match.
Well, that's fascinating because I think we're all kind of in a similar place, and the chat have put theirs in as well. We're seeing a lot of nominations for JJ and Skip equal man of the match. People saying Thomas is better than people think he is. Luke Thomas ball for goal, top tier. Guys, quick one before I do mine. Would you keep Luke Thomas on free kicks? Quick answer, Wayne. Would you keep him on free kicks?
100%.
There you go, Jim.
200%.
200%. I'll make that 300% until it goes wrong in the next game. We'll have to change it again. But there we go. Right. So so for my honourable mentions, I'm gonna chuck one out for the man of the match for Jim, Luke Thomas. I think he gets a lot of stick at times, doesn't he? If there's someone who's going to be the punching bag in the room, he is one of those that gets nominated as the punching bag more often than not. And sometimes he deserves it. Like against Millwall, he was totally exposed, had a terrible game for one. But today, I think he did a very solid job. I think he contributed some good stuff at the top end of the pitch. I do think he's better going forward than he is with the defensive side of his game. But if we can focus on that, that's great, and that suits him as well. So he'll be one of my honourable mentions. The second one, I'm going to go for JJ, which is an honourable mention, not the man of the match, because I think Wayne's gifted that out. I think he sets a high bar for himself now, right? Because I think he's leading by example. He's also very vocal. I think this is what we expect from him now every week. So I think while he's won a load of man matches in a row, I think going forward, he's got to keep reaching this level. But in good news, the greatest thing I can say about him as a player is he seems to drag others up to his level. And I think we're seeing that from Skip today, which is why my man of the match is Skip. I think he deserves it today. I think giving each of us one different man of the match each sums up where the football club is after today's performance, where that first 11 was on the pitch. And I think what they did was they showed the best team performance we've probably seen in both the attacking and defensive side of the game. Yeah, second half we were under the cosh a bit, but we survived it. And I didn't actually feel as much worry as I normally would with those situations, right? So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Skip because I think the thing I liked about him was he's increased the range of his game from what he was doing before. He wasn't just being too static. He wasn't running around aimlessly. Everything he did kind of had a purpose today. Every time he came out to win or intercept the ball that was being played in using his head, he'd get his toe on it and then he'd run at a man and try and take it round the man where he gained the yellow card from Thompson. That was one example of what Skip was doing today. And the longer he does that, the more I think he can start in Leicester City's midfield too for as long as he wants. So I think today, let's give him the man of the match for that one. Right, let's get round to the team performances. And it's interesting how we're all saying the same guys. And thank you all in the watch. There's a lot of positive comments here. Look, honourable mention, Tom, brilliant Watchalong. Thank you very much. We'll get better with the next two as well. We're going to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes. My voice is going, as you can hear. I keep trying not to cough into the microphone. We've got to give Chris some appreciation because he does this, speaking more than I do as well. But, right, team performance. Wayne, what's your team performance today?
I'd say an all-round 8, just because for the all-round nature of it, it had every element was at least good, some excellent, and you had character in there. I just think that's the most balanced side. So from the defence, which was better structurally, but also protected more by the midfield. The wingers today, I made note. Oh my God, we've got 2 wingers. Who were attacking and coming and taking on the fullbacks and taking on and breaking inside. I mean, that's the first game I think I can remember where both the wingers have been active and in the game. And maybe that's down to Decord over Reed. Maybe they need him in the middle of them. And even Ayew had a brilliant game. So everything worked today. All the cogs were aligned, and as a machine, the team worked. Yeah.
Fascinating. So we've got an 8 from Wayne. Jim, what is your review? What's your rating?
Well, first of all, I agree with the synopsis that Wayne just put out and what you started with. The fact that the 3 of us picked different men of the match and even had a mixture of probably 5 different players we had in our honorable mention, 5 or 6 honorable mention plus man of the match, says the level of play at this team had increased. And I think we played as a team. We played probably one of the best matches we played this year. They truly wanted to win it. They had the want to. They went out there, and I think it stayed that way all the way through. I gave us a 9. I think not us. I mean, like we did anything. Well, you guys did, but I gave the team a 9. I really thought that they played well as a team, and I think that's what told it on every facet of the game. Goalkeeping was great. The way that they rallied around each other was great. They put the ball in the net 4 times. I just didn't count. It was brilliant. Their passes, what we talked about in recent weeks, we can't pass. I think you said it. You guys talked about it in the pre-match. This team can't pass. We passed brilliantly today. So I thought the effort, and not just effort. Lots of times we've said we've had effort, but we hadn't had execution. I think today we've had effort, execution, and I gave them a 9. I mean, I think it's going to be tough to give a 10, but let's show us next week you can do a 10, Leicester.
We love your positivity as always, Jim. If everyone's going to get one mark higher than anyone else in this show, it'll always be Jim. I'm going to agree with one of us today. So it's going to be one of those, isn't it? If I can find it just here. Where is it? You know what I'm going to get for, don't you? Oh, I can't even find it. I'll go for this.
I don't believe it.
That'll do. I've agreed with Wayne. I've gone for an 8 today. And the reason why I've gone for an 8 is I think there was a collective effort today, which I really appreciated. And Wayne mentioned it when he was talking about how there was wingers today, right? I think the good thing today was both the wingers on both sides got back and defended, and also both got attacking support from their wingers as well and their wing backs. I think they looked a lot more connected. There seemed to be less finger pointing at each other and more people just tagging up and helping each other. Declan Dover-Reid's a funny one, isn't he? Because he vanishes, but if he's having a good game, he kind of does vanish. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's an interesting part of it. So I've got to go for an 8. I think that's the highest score I've probably given this season. Is in my high end, because I think for 10s, you've got to be really off the charts, right? But I think all the things that I had worries about our passing in particular, about our work rate, more importantly, right? I think they answered that today. I think the work rate was there. I think this 11, I'm like, okay, I'm not so dreary-eyed about seeing certain names like I was 6 months ago when they were being picked, right? Skip, for example, right? Maybe there are redemption arcs in this team still that we can still push on from. So, yeah, a strong 8 for me today. And also, I also like how we saw both sides of it. We saw what we had to do in the defensive game, and we saw what we did in the positive attacking game, and just being a bit more direct and being a bit better. I still think winning those second balls outside the penalty area is a massive part of what we can get better at as well. More long kicks out, even if we lose the ball. So, yeah, better. Jim, you wanted to say something, mate?
No, not the debate. I agree with both of you. You guys had great points. But I'm just curious, Tom, what would it take to make him a 9? What would it take today's performance? Because I didn't hear anything that we're really deficient at. You can't even say the point of when they scored against us. It wasn't a breakdown on our part in any way. It was just a great football play. So what would it take to make him a 9 in your books?
Well, I think the reason I can't give them a 9 is because I think there was still 3 or 4 chances in that second half of Derby where we could have done slightly better getting closer to them. There was a couple of spaces they managed to get shots away at, and yeah, we did some great last-ditch defending. But I still like us to be slightly better in that department of the game, Jim. I think Thomas did a lot better today. There are times where Vestergaard or Thomas will get caught out of position. Ricardo's had it happen to him, and that's what's created these opportunities for teams to, score against us. We got away with that a bit today. I'm not saying they weren't very clinical going forward. I mean, which helped us, but yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit more sharpness in that, and we in the positivity we can still get better. Over to you, Wayne.
Just a quick one on the TV. The commentator says, when you look around at the quality in this Leicester side, why are they not at the top of the table? But literally the question, and it made me really think. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? The last couple of weeks, I really doubted that we've got the quality to even maybe stay out the relegation zone. So it just shows you the quality is there. And Marty must be thinking, at last.
I know it kind of feels like Marty has been pushing for this since day one, but he's had to work out certain players might say something to his face and then go out on the pitch and not put in that performance. I agree with this. Clean sheet maybe here from Gray to Jim and also to all of us. That would be a nice one as well to maybe give it a 9 or a 10, But,
good answer, boys. Good answer. I just was curious. I wanted to see what this performance showed that we still had to work on. And as opposed to previous weeks, very slim. That's good.
I've got to be honest. I feel like I'm going to wake up in a minute, lads, and this is all going to be a dream I had overnight of what the first show went like when Chris was gone, and none of this has happened yet.
I've got visions of you going down to the local co-op or whatever supermarket is near, and high-fiving everybody down to the supermarket. We did it. Yeah, running around. It's like that scene from 500 Days of Summer where he's just got a bit lucky with a girl and he's jumping around to, I think it was, what was it? Oh, God. Oh, that song, Dreams Come True. You make my dreams come true. Boo, boo. We won't get a copyright claim for that. My singing's terrible, so that's fine. So, in good news, I didn't need the hammer today. I got it on standby in case I needed it. So, or the cattle prod
All the cattle prod. Well, Simare's back at Seagrave now. Let him out, of the hotel room to play football. Then don't need a cattle prod. But you are a Leicester top performance today. I think, like everyone said in the chat, Chris could stay away on holiday for a bit longer if he so wants, because we're off to a good start here. Jim, have you got 3 thoughts to end us off today, mate?
Of course I do. You know better.
There we go, guys.
All right. So, first of all, we know this. We talked about it throughout the post-match. Leicester showed toughness, desire, commitment. They showed real character. And I think what we're excited about is this could be the step forward. This could be the turn that we're going to see, that these players continue to grow. We're excited that we saw youth on the field, and we're excited that we're excited for the next match to see what squad he puts out there and see how they continue. So excitement and the toughness and the grit the team showed. Second thing I'm going to do is something a little different. I took some quotes that I heard during the match that I thought were pretty funny, or at least fun. And so some come from Wayne, some come from Tom, some come from the TV. First of all, one of my favorite texts that Wayne sent is after we went up 2-0, and you mentioned it at halftime. He says to me, "Are we in a parallel universe or what?" I laughed for that for about 5 minutes. Tom, when you mentioned Winks was not on the squad today, I thought it was kind of funny because you said Winks likes to play with himself on the field. I was a little concerned about that one. I didn't know what you meant about that. The TV announcer at one point said, Vestergaard is dancing forward with the ball. That vision, Vestergaard dancing at all, but I thought that was funny. Tom put, at one point, Tom said, Jacob shook his finger off like John Cena. I'm thinking, man, I'm going to have to watch some of the John. I got you. We had one, Wayne and I waited. We were putting a side bet, Tom, how long it was going to take for you to make a hockey reference.
Oh, my God. It was quite a long time.
It was, because it was when that scrum developed. And I thought, and ironically enough, for true hockey fans, in one comment, you said something about hockey and you mentioned Bobby Clark, who was one of their players, who happens to be the all-time captain of the Flyers. And I thought that was cool. Also, a quote that I saw, Leicester City was playing for the team, not self. Okay? Think about that. They were playing for the team, not themselves. We've seen so many individual times where we felt Winks or whoever was out there concerned about themselves, but they were playing for the team. That quote was, that was from me. Anyway. So those I thought were pretty cool quotes. The last one of our 3 things that we learned that Chris was missed. You learned a lot of things Chris does behind the scenes, Tom. So Chris was missed. It doesn't mean just because we won convincingly that Chris should not come back. However, if this continues the next 2 matches, see you later.
We know we'll be top of the league by Christmas at this rate.
I'm just kidding. Hey, great match. What a good upbeat way to start off our weekend.
Yeah.
100%. Well said, Jim. The man of wisdom. Honestly, we're so lucky to have you here, mate, because you always lift the mood and everything. But I agree we're here. Chris is paramount, as you can tell, because I've been battling tech issues and making sure I got all the pictures in the right place. So the only good thing is things can only get better, which means next time we'll be a little bit more polished than what it was this time. Gentlemen, we're going to keep it short today so we can all go enjoy our afternoons. First one without Chris. We've got it in the books. We've got the 3-1 win over Derby County. Who would have thought it? It was just like the good old days under Martin O'Neill, who, of course, is now available, but we don't need to change manager. Wayne, what else you got going on this weekend, mate? Anything exciting after that?
I'm seeing family, doing some decorating for one of the kids. I'm playing football and having a pint afterwards in a nice, jovial, relaxed manner.
Wonderful, guys. Wonderful. Jim, what else you got on this weekend? A big Jags game tomorrow, isn't it?
Huge Jags game. Hopefully keep in first place, hopefully show well. The only problem is 100% chance of rain tomorrow, which I know over there is nothing, but it's certainly going to change things. Plus, Bev and I will be there, so we'll be sitting in the miserable rain, but we'll be there. Otherwise, just getting things done around here for Christmas. Otherwise, we certainly do appreciate what you did, Tom. I thought you and Wayne were brilliant in the pre-match and halftime. We do miss Chris. Chris, if you're watching this archives, we understand and appreciate everything you did to get us to this point. And that's it.
That's it. Just as simple as that, guys. Well, thank you all very much. I think we'll call it there for today. We'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow with a Football Manager stream at 9 p.m. where I'm taking Leicester from League Two with the Academy boys and trying to get them all the way back to the promised land of winning trophies. Thank you all very much for the positivity in the chat today, guys. Thank you for the support. Obviously, like I said, we're going to get it a little bit more tied together for next time with the score being on screen and all these little bits we need to work on. But the main thing is we're a community, and it was great to hang out with all of you today. Don't forget to hyper like. I'm in for FM, Tom. Thank you very much. Grave Mods, thank you for all the work you do. Thank you for your support today as well. Guys, we will catch you on the next one. 3 points. Marty in. Marty in. Marty in. That's what I'm going to say. Marty in. We'll change our minds by next week, won't we? But anyway.
Marty out.
In, out, we shake it all about. We do Derby 3-1, then we turn around. Let's see what Bristol City brings. Guys, we'll catch you on the next show. Cheers.
We'll see you after.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.